Night Owls.
Turn on Night Owls.
Greatest Hits Radio.
And now, the forerunner to Facebook, where your words tell 1,000 Instagrams. Use your phone for making that call. And get talking across the northeast, please. Because this is Night Owls with Alan Robson.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Alan Robson's Night House. Thanks for joining us tonight. On the big one, we are talking to the stars, of course, who come out at night. But we always give you a challenge first. Got a couple of challenges, in fact. Our first challenge, though, is school-related. We want to know all of your school adventures. I didn't like school, but if I hadn't gone to school, I would never have realised just how amazing a roaster is. A proper roast potato. It's not crispy, really soft, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And we'd also not know the horror of that scoopy powdered mashed potato that we'd rather sit on than eat. So we want to know your school stories. We want to know funny teachers. How were you punished? How have your children been dealt with if they step out of line in comparison with the various things that they would do to you when you were a kid? Also want to know about the school bus, smoking, detention, some of your mates, the characters, the whole thing about school. Stuff that we've even forgotten that we remember. How many of you can remember hoying kites? Kites? What? Beanbags? Do you remember? We've never seen a beanbag since we were in infants. 0191 488 3188. And don't forget, if you want to come on the show, if you want to send a message, you can WhatsApp us 07863 431 837. Mouthful of numbers. Try and remember. Keep it on a pad next to your phone. 07863 431 837. And we'll call you back, or we'll feature whatever it is you want passed over. And let's face it, you've got an awful lot to talk about. How many of you remember the dreaded board rubber? We don't go home with rectangular squares where the board dust had hit with.
Cool. I've had that once or twice.
And what about the belt?
We were belted. We got the belt.
Belted, yes.
Got our hand.
Right.
And if we moved our hand, we got it twice.
Absolutely. Do you remember that? And how many of you had problems when it came to the toilet?
I was absolutely desperate for the toilet. Or number two, right? Sitting in the class.
We were belted.
Desperate.
We got the belt.
Yeah, belt teacher would hit you with a lump of wood if it came to hand belt or slap on the back. Whoa. Hey, one at a time.
We got it twice.
This has got all very peculiar all of a sudden. Let's try something where one person speaks just at the same time. It would be really good. Just one person at a time. Maybe talking about visiting your old school. No, it's not happening either. So please bear with us a second. There's a few strange things occurring here, but I shall try. Oh, blimey, that's just playing for no reason at all. Down the bottom, didn't click on it. We're having a few issues, as you probably gathered, but let us try very hard to do this. I'll try one more. Convent school discipline. Oh, my goodness. If you went to a convent school, I would imagine you would have received a bit of interesting treatment.
Oh, a lot of interesting treatment. The one that I used to get the most was if I didn't do anything right in maths or whatever, we used to have to kneel on pencils with our nose against on the wall in this circle. that knocked me knees up for the rest of my life, I tell you.
Horrible. And, of course, getting embarrassed at school was just kind of what happened.
Me being me, I just kind of ran straight out of the building.
Well, you have a towel. I hope you had a towel on.
No. No. I ran out completely starkers. And like I said, the whole school was outside waiting for me. And luckily the teacher went in and got a flannel, a hand towel.
A flannel?
Unfortunately, at that age, it kind of did. But yeah, so but that wasn't just the only thing, because like I said, that was just my school that kind of saw me. The following day, they had like a bit of an entertainment thing, and they gave certificates out and stuff.
Right.
So anyway, they gave lots of certificates out for achieving things and stuff like that, and they said we've got a special certificate now. I was like, all right, okay. For the best dressed person during a fire drill. And they got me up. And I was in front of everyone.
So, tell me about all your school memories, and being embarrassed at school is part of it, but something else that we talked a fair bit about over the years, and that's bullying, even in primary schools.
Such and such a girl has been nasty to us today, made us play on my own, locked another girl in the toilet, done this, that and the other, you know?
Yeah.
Apparently this other girl's attacked another one, and it's been going on for a couple of weeks. They got in touch with the school. Apparently this child's already been taken out of one school for the very bad behaviour, moved into this school, and they decided in their wisdom to put this child in with my granddaughter and these other two girls because they're a really good influence, they're very helpful, you know, they're nice girls. They wanted this girl to learn from them. Well, what she's doing is bullying the life out of them.
If anything, the bad behaviour that she sees the lass get away with, they're trying it on at home.
Yep, well, there you go. I mean, one of our pals called the teacher a poo head, but she didn't say poo. Right, so she was in trouble.
And what age are we talking about here? How old are they?
4 and 5.
4 and 5?
Yep, this is the astonishing thing, right? How early does it start?
Yeah.
You know? And guess what the reaction of the school is? Let's look after the bully one because she's having a hard time at the moment and we've got to give her every chance. Well, what chance are they giving the decent kids that are getting bullied? They're coming in with scratches on their necks. And, you know? And today when I picked her up, I said, what's happened today? Such and such been all right. Yeah, she's had a good day today. We've had it explained to us, this is 4 and 5-year-old, had it explained to us that she has some bad days and when she gets very excitable, she can sometimes lash out. So we just have to be careful.
How about that? What excuses did your school give? A lot of schools say that it doesn't happen in our school, but it happens in every school. Dot sent this in as well. I loved school mainly, but remember in junior school, the whole class got the belt on our hand because one person didn't own up to some mess in the classroom. Blame you, but they were popular. So what else are we talking about? Well, there's a lot of stuff. You can talk about anything you like. Steph McLaughlin, some of the parents are worse for being bullies at the primary school around my way. The parents are the bullies. Other things to talk about, breaching a restraining order. Katie Price could go to prison for 5 years. Would you miss that? No. Cyclists are being told to ride in the middle of the road because it's safer. I'd love somebody to explain that to me. Tories trying to intimidate people to lie, allegedly. Following Boris's example, you could say. Compulsory jabs for NHS workers. That's been put on hold because a stink was created. Civil servants tell Boris they're not coming back to work. They say we can work from home. And they call him apparently the Whitehall Blob. MP at the centre of Boris Gate has gone to the Ukraine with the baby and the nanny for a Commons meeting. Why have they got to take the baby and the nanny? Could somebody explain that to me? MPs in Qatar given a little fun trip worth 160 grand. The same week, a female rights activist disappears in Qatar. Teacher has had COVID 3 times in a year. And a Disney song at number 1. We don't talk about Bruno. Can't remember the last time, if ever, that has happened before. Anyway, let us dive into the calls, and we have to do that because we've got someone absolutely spectacular waiting to talk to you. Now, this person we've had on the show before because she's great. She put an album out called Miss Loud. She still is. She's amazing. And, of course, this week she's been in high demand because of the passing of Meatloaf, who's been on this show a good number of times over the years. And that person is, of course, Lorraine Crosby. Hello, Lorraine.
Hello, Alan. How are you?
I'm very well. Great to talk to you again, lol. So, a busy time, I would imagine, the last 24 hours or so.
Well, Friday was crazy. Saturday, I went into complete meltdown and I cried all day. It was ridiculous.
Oh, my goodness.
I stopped shaking and was so upset. I cancelled all the interviews, all TV. I cancelled a lot.
Right.
Because I've already said me bit, you know.
Right. No, I understand that.
It's just tough. You know, day one was okay, and then I just crashed yesterday. It was awful.
And it's one of those things, because I know that you're a tough lady. I mean, when we were chatting the last time, we had a really long chat, and you kind of showed that you're not to be messed with. You've got it all together. You know the business and you know how it works. And yet everybody suddenly is knocking on your door because of the whole Meatloaf thing. And yet you've done so much. I mean, you've got your own band. You've played forever. And teaming up occasionally with Bonnie Tyler to be a scary combination. And I mean, it's a...
together, actually.
No, absolutely. But obviously, we got to talk about the man himself. I mean, have you come to terms with it yet? It sounds like it's hit you like a hammer, lass.
It did hit us like a hammer. You know, the first, well, Jim Steinman as well. You see, Jim Steinman was my main guy. I mean, I spent 4 years of my life with Jim Steinman every day.
Right.
We would go out for dinner at night.
Right.
He's the reason I got involved with Meatloaf.
Right.
And both died with COVID. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable. I know, absolutely unbelievable. Out of all of the things, because Jim, first of all, what a lovely bloke, but what a songwriter. Well, I mean, unbelievable tunes from that fella.
I know. I mean, and the thing is, he didn't get half the kudos that Meatloaf got.
No.
With all due respect, you know, he didn't. And he was 50% of that partnership, you know, really was.
Yeah, and I remember him putting an album out, though, that was stunning. He's done a lot of great things off his own behest. He certainly deserved to be better known. Meatloaf, obviously, the front man of the partnership. Yeah. But last thing I expected for Meatloaf, mine, I must admit, because, again, you'd have thought there's numerous things over the years that we've thought could have took him out, but I didn't expect it to be COVID, not for a second. No,
but he had been ill for a long time. He had a bad back. He had a back operation that went terribly wrong, and he was in pain every day.
Right.
So it wasn't great, really.
No, not at all.
It's so sad that he's gone, because he was going to do a tour this year. He was coming back. He'd just done some gigs, and he was looking great, and he had a fantastic band behind him, and he was going to do 40. I spoke to John Parr yesterday, and John said to me that Meat had asked him to do a 40-day tour with him, and John said yes, he was going to support him.
Wow.
And then this so dreadful.
No, because John Parr and him did the Rock and Roll Mercenaries thing,
right,
which I thought was an incredible mixture, because that was when John was just making it. I mean, giving him a hand out, really.
Yeah, he was.
And
I've been recording with John. I've just done all the backing vocals on his new album.
Oh, fabulous. Because, again, he's another one that deserves, like yourself, deserves an awful lot more credit than you get. With respect to this, though, I mean, your set, you put all kinds of different things in from all kinds of different styles, because you got a voice that can do anything. With regards to me, did you ever do any of his other tunes other than I'll Do Anything?
Oh, yeah, I do loads. I do Bat Out of Hell. I do in bars. I do a lot of cruise ships now as well.
Oh, wow.
And I use the orchestra on the ship, and they play it. And I do loads of I actually duet with him on stage on the screen behind me. Brilliant.
How about that? Oh, that's gotta be worth saying. Fantastic.
I do Queen, you know, Celine Dion, because I did the original demo for It's All Coming Back to Me Now.
Right.
And so I do that in the show. I do loads of stuff. Journey.
Wow.
Easy.
Well, there's no holding you. We know how good you are. With respect to this, what's good? And I know a lot of people talk about how you met him and stuff. You've talked about that many times. What is the one thing about Meat that you and Jim? Let's have one of each, because they both deserve equal credit. what are the things you're going to miss about those two guys? Because whenever anybody talks about them, in my head, your face pops up. What are you going to miss most?
Well, the thing I miss most about Jim Steinman is going for dinner. Honestly, when he went out with him, it was a brilliant thing. The funniest thing you ever had going out for dinner with Jim Steinman, you're just watching the waiter's face always. Because he'd get the menu and he'd go to the waiter. You see the catfish on there? I don't want that. He went, yeah. He went, bring everything else. Two things like that. Every time you went out with him, you just go, bring food and bring wine. And I remember one restaurant we went to in New York. It was called Booley Restaurant. It was really expensive. We got a separate glass of wine with each course.
Oh, cheapest.
Got my Geordie laugh. Everybody was leaving the wine. I said, you're not leaving all that wine. He went, yeah, we are. I said, oh, can I have it? He says, well, yeah, we'll wait for you to drink it. So the everybody. And I walked out absolutely clattered.
I bet.
So that is my Jim Steinman.
Right.
As well as brilliant songwriting as well.
Yeah,
you know
course,
what I mean? Songwriter helped me and Stuart with our careers. He helped us with our writing. He was on the phone to Stu like from 10 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock in the morning on most days because he was an incredible man. That was 4 years of my life with Jim Stein. And with Meatloaf, just being intimidated standing next to him singing. When I remember we lived in Sandyford, and Jim Stein decided to become our manager, and we sold our flat in Sandyford, and we just walked out there with suitcases, sold everything, we left everything, and went. And I remember he said, come down to the studio and meet everybody. And we went down to Ocean Way in Los Angeles. We were living in Hollywood at the time. And went to the studio, and he was recording that song. And Ellen Foley, who sang Paradise by a Dashboard Light, was supposed to be there doing it. And I don't know, our flight was postponed or she couldn't make it for some reason. But he's a bit like a method actor, Meatloaf. He said to Jim, well, how's Ellen going to sing this bit? Watch it. I can't respond if I don't know what was going to sing. So the next thing I know, it's like, will you go in there?
Baptism of fire.
Yeah, so basically, I went in the booth with him, and he had this man mountain standing next to me, and this little lass from North Shields, yeah. And she goes and sings it twice with him, and 6 months later, it's kept on record, and it's number 1 in 28 countries. The rest, obviously, history. But my endearing moment with Meatloaf was standing in that booth with him, this huge guy, because I was a huge fan of him, you know.
Yeah, of course.
From 10-year-old, I used to sing into a hairbrush all these songs. So never dreaming that one day I'd be right there with him. So,
amazing.
And I mean, we had our ups and downs, Meatloaf and I, as he did with many people.
Sure.
But, you know, had ups and downs with John Paul as well. Him and Jim fell out. You know, you fall out, you speak, you fall out, you speak. But the good thing about Meatloaf and the good thing about me is you get it off your chest, end the story, move on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, well, be well. Brilliant talking to you. Thanks for coming on, Lorraine. Get your head down. Bless you, darling. See you soon. Take care.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Bye-bye. Isn't she? Fantastic woman, Lorraine Crosby, and she is, if you've not seen her live, she is amazing, and she's got a voice that she can wrap around any tune. She is a fabulous talent. Okay, we're going to have a listen to Lorraine now with Meat, of course, has to be that tune. But what we're going to do is, if you WhatsApp us on 07863 431 837, tell us what Meatloaf song you want us to play after midnight. We'll play any Meatloaf song you want. Any. Choose any. The one that you pick that is the Meatloaf song. And there's bundles to choose from. Took the words right out your mouth. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Dead Ringer for Love. Midnight at the Lost and Found. Rock and Roll Mercenaries with John Parr we've just been hearing about. Whatever Meatloaf song you want. WhatsApp us. Tell us which one it is. 07863 431 837, and we'll play that tune. Okay, if you've got a particular Meatloaf memory, if you saw him on stage, if you met him in the street, if you saw him at St. James's kicking a football, there's lots of Meatloaf stories out there. And we want yours, so you can WhatsApp us or give us a call. 01914 488 3188. But Lorraine is a joy. The track is the business. Let's have it. We are Greatest Hits Radio Northeast.
And I would do.
Oh, I see you. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is an odd place, isn't it? Hey, we've never been to one like this before. Let me first of all tell you, we've got Hollywood McShane behind the camera as always. Bit of an echo here. We've got Kenny as always. Special guesting with Rob. Rob is a ghost hunter, and he's pointed us in the direction of this place. And it's well worth a look and a listen. We've only been here about 20 minutes. We've already heard voices, music, footsteps, strange bangs and bumps. So we've got a few dark places. We are in a place, and I know you're going to have to use your imagination here, because there's not one soul has an image of a castle that once stood right on this spot. We're in Stockton upon the Tees, Stockton Castle. This is the site of it. This is also the length of it. If you look down there, can you light it up? If you look down there, that is one end of the castle. The other end is all the way down to the other side. Now, at the present moment, we've got a whole retail outlet above our heads, but we're down in the guts of the whole place. There's a haunted cafeteria. And hey, Rob, come in, because you've heard a lot of stories about staff and security guards. Who's seen what here?
I think security guards see the most. So there's a story of a little girl. She's meant to be seen upstairs. Down here, it's all shadows and noises, things like that. People have ghost hunted in here before. They've seen using the same imaging camera. They actually got an outline of a person in an empty room.
Right. Because I've heard that you were mentioning that one person has believes he's seen the guy James walk out into the match.
Yes,
the striking match.
Who's in there on the site where it's shot.
Right.
Where he's apparently invented
the first striking match. So if you ever struck a match, it's down to Stockton upon Tees. A lot of famous people from here. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. I've also heard that one security guard was pushed. I heard somebody in a shop felt somebody grab her from behind, turned around thinking it was somebody messing, and it was in fact nobody there, completely empty.
He's just left. He blamed the cleaner for playing practical jokes on him.
Right.
And he was so adamant it was the cleaner that was whispering his name from behind the pillar. They actually had to prove it wasn't her by showing him the CCTV and said, no, there was nobody there.
Brilliant.
But you see him turn around, thinking there's someone there, but you can see on the camera he's there.
Now, we're doing this in two sections. We've got Rob, who's disappearing in a second. You're really going to go freestyling, which I think is terribly brave. Good lad. Good luck. You're going to do one area. We've already placed a camera to catch as much as you can. You've got some of your own equipment too. Every 15 to 20 minutes, Rob's going to come back and find us, and we'll see what you've got. And then later on, we're going to swap round, and Rob's going to do the bowels, and we're going to do the next part of our ghost hunt. So good luck, Rob. Make it happen. And you know your way from here? Good luck. Shout if you don't, but good luck to you. You've got the camera ready to go. Happy days. Right, for the rest of us, I'm just going to explain about this Stockton Castle, just so you know. And please make sure that you share. If you do, you could have one. Well, frankly, if you share enough, you can have 5 or 6 of these. Happy days. We're all wearing them loud and proud and true. We need as much support as we can get. Please help us. So, look at the size of this place. But imagine your house, your home, if it's average size, would fit in a 10th, what, 20th of this? Probably a 20th of this space. If you go down the other distance, your street could fit in this. We're talking a huge area, yet in 1110, we're going back that far, not long after, in 1066, we're talking 1100s, this, settled by the Anglo-Saxons, a small settlement here, Stoche, and they decided they were going to build a mansion house. The church wanted a place that was big enough for the bishop, Bishop Pudsey. He had one eye. He looked a bit like a bear. No, not him, but that was his real name, Bishop Pudsey. And he built this. Look at the length of it. This was a manor house. And when he realized that the Scots were attacking and the pirates were coming up the River Tees and the Vikings, and he said, oh, else we're going to have to fortify it. So they turned his mansion house. As I say, nobody's got a picture of it, but I think it was the longest castle imaginable, just the length of it. And he fortified it. Amazing story, absolutely true. And while this castle was in place, they had to face the Great Famine. Loads of people died. They had to face the Great Plague. And I find it interesting that during the Great Plague, they had a chapel in the castle. And the bishop said, hey, if you're going to want safety, you've got to pray in the castle chapel. And if you pray in the castle chapel, you'll survive. Problem was, everybody went and prayed in the castle chapel where there's thousands of people like this, and all the fleas are jumping, and it wiped out half the population. 4 out of 5 people who lived here died because of that. The church indirectly massacring their own people. Now, as you can see, we're listening, we're recording, we're broadcasting. Every sign is just teasing me. I'm hungry. I could eat the stocky. Don't say that. It's very smoggy. It's very northeastern. Yeah. Very smoggy. Stocky. Stoche. But along here, people see spirit all the time. So if you catch anything, just make sure that you mark it out for us, because you never know what you're going to get. Well, this is on camera all the time, and they've caught no end of things. So let us hope that we can catch some too.
We're going in some dark places, aren't we?
I know a lot of it will be lit. It's a different thing altogether that we've got.
We've never done this before, have we?
Not anything remotely like this. And I mean, this castle belonged to the Scots for a couple of years. I'll tell you that story a bit later. But that's where we're heading, into that darkened room. Straight ahead. Did you close the door?
I'll put the camera in, the night vision.
Did you leave the door open?
Yes.
Ah, right.
Kenny could go first for night vision.
Absolutely, go do it. The weird thing is, we're so close to the rest of humanity, and I don't know about you, but have you ever wondered what happens in the guts, in the cellar, in the underground areas of places that are busy, full of us all day long? We're going to find out tonight, that's for sure. Now, we've had our first door slam. I hope you guys caught that. It's when you're in a place away from things.
Do you struggle to drink it?
Night Owls with Alan Robson.
You never know who's going to call next.
Now, don't forget to get your suggestions for the Meatloaf song in as soon as you can. Sean's been on. I loved school. Best memories making lifelong friendships, but mostly getting the chance to represent the school at a BT swimming competition and coming back with a bronze medal. Good on you. Jane Holloway has Hadaway. She's in sunny Jamaica. I'm missing you all. I loved school, hated bullies. I used to stick up for those who were bullied, but got the name Bouncer. It didn't help when I had a 38-inch bust. Got bullied for that, but turned it around and used them to push the bullies over. Now, I don't know whether even Chris or Hollywood McShane, who's through the glass here, has ever heard of somebody called Chesty Morgan. But for a brief moment in history, Chesty Morgan made a movie. Look her up. She had bosoms that essentially went down to the ground. They were that big. And they made a movie starring Chesty Morgan where the bad guys would come at her and she would swing these bosoms and knock them off cliffs and stuff. Incredible. It's kind of semi-adult. It was stupid. It wasn't like pornography or anything, but it was stupid adult stuff. But worth a look because it's like, surely they didn't. But they really did. And Press Hardy says, my head teacher used to throw pens at us in his office if we were naughty, but it didn't do us any harm. But he would be cackled in this day and age with cancel culture. Cancel culture? Cancel culture. Cancel culture? He would be cackled. I prefer cankle culture, definitely. Because a cankle is, of course, thick ankles. It's a cankle. And teachers are bound to get cankles because they're standing up a lot. But let's go and talk to Malcolm because he's there in Wickham. Hi, Malcolm.
Evening, Alan.
Hello. So what can we do for you?
Basically, when I was 14-year-old, I interviewed you as a GCSE student.
Hey.
I don't know if you recall the interview.
I did a few of them, but I hope it went well for you.
It did. You were very generous with your time, Alan. It has to be it has to be said. And the interview went well itself until the old school tape recorder I had gave up the ghost and we had to go to let's just say a form of shorthand.
Oh dear. Well, hey, it was still worth your while, I hope, coming up and having a go. Good stuff.
Oh, it certainly was. I was the talk at school the next day.
Brilliant. That's good news. So anything else while you're on, mate?
No, not at all.
That's great. Thank you for coming on. His school memory, talking to me, for heaven's sake. That's an odd one. Let's go to Anne. She is it's Anne from Wardley. It's one of our own. Hello, Anne.
Hiya, Alan. It's a long time no speak.
Anne, no, welcome back. Good to hear from you, Anne. I hope all's well.
Well, I'm getting myself back to a bit of a normality now.
Thank you. That's
all,
good news.
Getting there,
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
But I'm hoping to get back onto my family tree, my genealogy.
Right. How far back have you got already then, Anne?
Well, I didn't start off doing my dad's family because my cousin was doing it.
Right.
But I'm on Family Search and it's a brilliant free site.
Right.
And I started off and I had to leave off. I've done my mum's father's side, and I've started my mum's, her mum. And you're getting all this stuff up, you've got famous ancestors and you've got all this. And boy, have I got some.
Like who? Who you related to then, Anne?
Well, Catherine Hepburn.
What?
Is my 12th cousin, I think.
Give over. That's amazing. She's fantastic.
Lucille Bowles, my 12th cousin.
That's wild.
Shirley Temple's my 12th cousin once removed.
Uh-huh.
Who was it? I've got some more here. Ones I've finished and ones I'm starting because I've got to go back over.
Right.
From my dad's side, you see, we've got loads of ladies. And it all comes down from the Deerhoff,
Oh, lovely.
Lord Robert Deerhoff, the Badingham.
How about that?
Oh, John Quincy Adams.
The president. That's
what? My 7th cousin 6 times removed.
That's amazing.
And T.S. Eliot. Is your 10th cousin 3 times removed. Coolidge.
And there were two
presidents.
Two presidents.
Oh, I've
looked up my family tree, and they're all pit yackers, boatmen, essentially people that had out. But wow, you're messing around with the big knobs.
Oh yes, Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Three. How do you do 3 presidents in one family? That's incredible.
I've got 4.
4.
Thomas Jefferson, Quincy Adams, Coolidge, and Franklin.
That's
Roosevelt.
Incredible.
And who is it? I'm coming up soon. But the one I'm interested in is this inventor, Ingebretson. Robert Ingebretson.
Right,
He's my 12th cousin once removed. And he's an inventor. And he'd be something you'd be interested in. He said audio digital.
Right. Wow. How this is an incredible mixture of people you've got there.
Robert Peary was the first man to the North Pole.
Uh-huh.
I'm coming. I'm the big man. Shut your gob. If I'm upstairs, I'm getting wrong for having the radio on. If I'm downstairs, I'm getting wrong. But me lords and ladies and me pioneer moments.
Great.
They've got an interest. Oh, I'll send you them.
They're doing great though. So what about school though? I mean, were you good at school, bad at school, or what?
I was good.
Yeah.
I was ended up a prefect. I was head girl.
Wow. In command. And the prefects used to always get the orange juice on the milk cart as well.
Well, we didn't have milk carts in the seniors.
No.
We didn't. But I've still got friends from school days, and I started when I was 5.
Wow. No, I must have been
68.
No, I must have been. There's 1 or 2 that I've come across over the years, but very, very few and far between. It's very sad.
Well, I've learned, I didn't like history and stuff, but I've learned more with doing the family tree.
Right.
About the First World Wars and that.
Yeah, I bet.
Because when my mum said, my great Uncle George, he got the DCN for his in no man's land. And he's a prisoner of war, so was his brother, and you learn all about it, and I've learned more by doing that.
Yeah, because you had a personal connection with them, so you're going to be more interested, aren't you?
I mean, who the hell wants to know about Henry Tudor and stuff? They're boring.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're not family. You don't have to worry about them.
No. Well, it might be, but I'll go far enough back. I'm down to the 1400s.
Wow, that's incredible.
On my mum's side, it's the Border Reavers.
Right. Yeah.
The Elliots.
Yeah, that's Reaver family, definitely. Yeah.
I've got right old mixed lords and ladies on one side.
It's fab.
Border Reavers on the other.
Yeah.
So it depends which mood you catches in, which one you get.
I know, that's always the thing. Hey, but lovely hearing from you, and thank you very much for getting in touch. Lovely to hear from you.
I will. When I get this all sorted, I'll send you. You'll find it very interesting about that England.
Well, absolutely, no question.
And the stories about the Mormon Trail on the plains and Indians ahead and all this.
Fantastic. Hey, well, thank you for calling, Anne. All the best.
Right, you take care. All the best.
Bye-bye. See, great. Wow. You imagine all of that up your family tree. I expect to see half a mile hanging from it. Margie says, funny story about my school. Sat with me mum in one parents' evening, and I says to my drama teacher, isn't hard for Margie to concentrate on a lesson when she fancies the teacher. I could never look him in the face after that. Nearly died at that parents' evening. Margie, you've just brought a memory back to me. Miss Tag. We got this guest history teacher who replaced the history teacher because he was off because I think his wife was ill or something. And she fitted in and she started us having lessons after school on myths and legends and some of the ancient gods. And she was very bunny. And it was nothing to do with the subject. It was purely because she was money that I took every class that she had to offer. Oh, Steph's back. Embarrassing moment for me at school was my mum bought me a jumper for PE. When we did PE outside, my mate said, what kind's that? I said, well, how are you, man? It's Reebok, not cheap. She says, it's not Reebok, it's Redbook. And I'd never even noticed because I'm dyslexic. Thought it was class as well because I never got named stuff. Redbook. That's a shame. There's a few. Tony next door is just saying he used to have hike socks as well. Yeah, I think there's a few of them out there. And also, If ever you travel to abroad, especially Spain or America, knockoff stuff is massive. And I remember seeing bottles of Channel number 5, 2 N's in it. But some people would have been caught out. 0191 488 3188. Get your calls in. James is with us. He's in Anetsford. Hiya, James.
Hi, Alan. And all the best for 2022 there, Mira.
Thank you. So what are you talking about tonight, then?
Wait, last week you were on about people in the war never said much.
Yeah, that's true.
You didn't speak about it.
Yeah, it tends to be the case.
Well, my dad was just like that. And his 2 brothers. In the war, the 3 of them were, one got killed, but his other brother, sorry.
Right.
But when he did speak, it was horrendous. It was really, really, really horrendous.
Well, what kind of things was he
got
saying?
him talking about?
Yeah, what
he
did he
was
say?
in Burma, Alan.
Oh, blimey, right, I understand.
Right. But I didn't realise that in 1942, Japan pushed everybody out of Burma. I don't know if you realise that.
Right.
This is 1942.
Uh-huh.
And in 1943, they was trying to stop them getting into India.
Right.
And their tactics was to get the Japanese away from the front, their support lines and that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what my dad was saying. Like when he did speak.
Yeah, yeah.
And what happened was that they had this city, but I cannot remember the name of the city, Alan.
Right.
That was only one road out of Burma.
Right.
To India. I remember that, but I can't remember. I just remember. I wish I could remember the city because I would look it up,
Right, sure. I know where
they had like a few thousand who were in that blockade thing. And the Japanese was coming up. And his brother says it was. Your dad and I talked about it because it was worse than the Somme.
Oh, blimey.
And I can't realise how people don't know this battle. Because it's supposed to be a very, very, hard battle.
Hard-fought battle, no bad.
Yeah, because you're talking about 10 or 20 to 1, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the last probably 3 days or something, if I was saying, and they got reinforced just at the nick of time, like the cavalry coming, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But it must have been horrendous the way it was, because we never spoke. Then when they went into Burma, because you used to fight with the Gurkhas.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then when they went into Burma, you've seen some horrific things. What they've done to the
so the ordinary
prisoners
people
and
there.
that.
Yeah.
The prisoners.
Sure.
They put them through hell.
Awful.
Whoa. Anyway, that's what I just want to say. Oh, and what do you think about this Russia and Ukraine lock?
There's always something. If it's not China wanting to take over Taiwan, it's Russia trying to take over all of the countries that used to be part of the USSR, if you remember, not so far back. I don't know. I'm optimistic that common sense will prevail. I know some people are saying if they don't invade, they'll just put a Russian puppet in charge of the country. That's possible too. I just don't want to see a lot of loss of life for any reason.
That's it. Wait. With China, in Taiwan, in Russia, with Ukraine, because Russia and China has been trying to store it up, and if they both start at the same time, I'd be out of manner.
Yeah, we could certainly live without that. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, in 1996, Ukraine wanted to join the NATO.
That's true. Yeah.
In 2017, we're like illicit for membership, but they haven't fully joined.
No. And I do know it's one of those things that America will get involved and they'll sit down and they'll say, if you do that, we'll do this. And that's how this kind of stuff accelerates into something much worse than it needs to be. I just hope that common sense tells everybody that we'll all achieve more if we do stuff together rather than we do stuff apart. So hopefully we can get a little bit of life protected instead of wading in with tanks, because that's what they used to do. It's been a while. Let's hope they don't do it again. Anything else then, James?
No, that's it, mate.
Lovely
Right.
stuff.
Have a good night anyway, Alan.
I will, mate. Thank you very much. Now, a little bit earlier on tonight, I was chatting to this very person. It's Richie from Ashington. Hiya, Rich.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm all right, man. So tell everybody what this was all about, you talking to me and stuff.
Yes, obviously I do a podcast channel which I set up during the first lockdown. I've had many of good names on there, but not as humbling as yourself. So I got you on tonight.
You did? No, I enjoyed the chat. With some different types of questions as well, which is always good. So if people want to have a listen to this, what do they do then, Richie?
They go on to my YouTube channel, Blind Man's Podcast. It's spelled with a Z, man. And they just click on the latest uploaded video, which will say Alan Robson MBE tells his story.
Okay, and that'll be there from when?
Well, I'm just currently waiting for it to finish because on my screen as we speak, it says it's uploaded, but it says we're processing this video.
Right. So I'm being processed at the moment, but just watch that space. That's the thing.
Yep, and I'll share it to the Night Out Friends page on Facebook as well in case people can't find it.
That's lovely. Okay.
But thank you very much for your time once again. It was amazing.
It's not a problem. So how's things going? You breakfast show presenter, you?
Just obviously just trying my best to entertain this side of the northeast.
That's good. Good stuff.
Different things. Try and keep it interesting and keep people awake.
I'll wake them up first thing in the morning. No, it's tremendous. Hey, Richie, thank you very much. I'm glad everybody's going to get a chance to have a listen and join in with you and see what you're all about. Thanks for coming on, Rich. No worries. Love to the family.
And you. Bye.
Take care, man. Bye-bye. And straight across to Andy now. Andy is with us, and he's in Reading. Hello, Andy.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, sir. What can we do for you tonight?
Hello, Alan. Right, so I believe the protocol is to say I'm a first-time caller.
Well, it used to be. Not so much now. I think everybody's hopefully lost that, but I'm glad to talk to you if that's the case. What do you want to talk about?
Well, Alan, I mean, as you can probably tell them from my ancient protocol, I'm not a regular listener to your current show. However, I was a regular listener to your show about 30 years ago.
Oh my goodness, right.
And well, so coincidentally, there was actually one thing I wanted to speak to you about, but just a total coincidence. You've come up and it says here that your subject today is school.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so I remember we used to call into your show and try and get shouts out for each other when we were at school. So, I mean, we're talking like 13, 14 years old. Yeah, right, I'm 45 now.
Gotcha.
And we always used to try and get you to use nicknames of the people at school to try and slightly embarrass them. So that was probably the first thing, the first time we ever had any. However, you and I have met before.
Oh, right.
So it's probably something that you don't remember because it was a very, very minor little thing.
Right.
But something that's played on my mind for quite some time.
Okay.
So just before I actually say that, right? So basically, one of the main reasons for the call is sort of trying to, if people could read between the lines here. I used to be a heavy drinker.
Right.
And about 7 years ago, I entered into a support group for drinkers. And successfully stopped drinking.
Good man.
And one of the processes that one must go through in this program is to contact people who they harmed in the past and apologise for their previous behaviour.
Right.
Now, you are one of the people that is on my list.
Really? Why?
Now, again, a very, very minor thing. There are obviously lots of other people in my life who have had apologies and deserve apologies because of some of the stupid things that I did, relationships, etc., etc.
Sure.
However, you are one of the ones on the very, very lower down the list. So
thanks.
You may remember or may not remember.
Right.
Somewhere in the region of 30 years ago, you did a talk in Dylan's bookshop in the town.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at that talk, there was a cheeky young lad accosted you with some I can't even remember exactly what it was now, some rubbish. basically, there was a friend of mine had heard something about you were doing an interview with some heavy metal band, and the heavy metal band roughed you up a bit or something like that.
That's right, yes.
And then he told me that he would pay me £5 if I challenged you with this information in the middle of Dylan's bookshop in the town.
Yes.
And I went ahead and did that.
You did. You mentioned Venom, who not long before that had destroyed a studio and messed it up and ended up putting it on one of their albums. I seem to remember the whole interview. So, and you did. And I was talking about ghostly hab-nabs, and all of a sudden the whole subject turned on its head to particularly heavy rock music, black metal music, in fact. So,
I mean, to be honest, mate, I can't remember the total details of it. Like I say, I didn't really know about it. It was something that my friend brought up.
Yeah.
And at the time, you know, when you're a 15-year-old kid with an embryonic drink problem, £5 is £5.
No, absolutely, it needs most. I understand.
And yeah, so you know, like I say, in the middle of this, you know, like you say, you were doing your thing. You were in the middle of your discussing your ghosty things or whatever with you know, with the genuine fans that were there to hear you. And I interrupted and disturbed, you know, your little chat, and for that reason, I must say that I am very apologetic and eternally sorry for doing so. And I hope 30 years down the line, you are happy enough to accept that apology.
No, I'm not taking it. I'm scarred.
Was that it? Have you not slept for the last 30 years?
I've just been mulling it over nightly. Not able to sleep at night because of that.
Well, exactly. I thought I would be able to give you some rest finally after this 30-year period.
No, absolutely 100%. You are completely freed from any conscience there. So, hey, life's sweet, Andy. I'm just glad that you managed to get off the drink, and hopefully you're having a happy life.
I am indeed, mate. I am indeed.
Champion.
So, yes,
that's
like
all
I say,
good.
no longer in the northeast, but it's glad to speak to a fellow Geordie.
Bless you, man. Take care. Thanks for coming back to us,
Thanks
Andy.
a lot, Alan.
Take care,
Cheers.
man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, if that's the worst thing that happens to you, I think we can cope. Do you reckon? Let's talk to a star. In the mood for that. So who the devil is it? Oh, I've just found out. It's Tony Hadley. And let's talk to him about, well, special and perhaps not so special moments. This is going to be probably an impossible question for you, Tony. Highlight and lowlight, best bit and worst bit in the business.
Oh, in the business, highlight. I could sound like a real cliche and say no, but I'm not going to do that. Highlight in the business, I'd say, would have to be Live Aid, because it changed, I think, the whole world, the world's perception of charity, about giving to people, about what music and what a bunch of puffy pop stars could do for the world. And I thought that was a momentous, amazing day. And also, just from a personal point of view, I'm meeting my heroes. I'm going, wow, hello, how are you? I was a kid when I saw you on top of the pops, you know, Mr. McCartney, as he was at then, but Freddie and all the boys and stuff, you know, Phil Collins. I mean, just amazing, just amazing. The lowest point, there's been a few of those. I've paid my dues several times over. The lowest point, I suppose, was probably when we lost the court case. That was a pretty low point. Myself, John Keeble and Steve Norman, and that's as if someone just whacked you around the head with an iron bar. So there you go. But that's life. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself down, which is exactly what I said to John and Steve afterwards.
Sure.
And you move
Crack
on.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the great thing about being a human being. You have to pick yourself up. People do, and you know, and in the great scheme of things as well. I mean, you know, you got war-torn places around the world. You look at the people in Syria, Aleppo, and stuff, and what those people go through, and they pick themselves up and they rebuild their lives again, and that's what it's all about.
What's that?
It's derelict above us. I'm just going to change.
No.
It's early for it. I couldn't see any reason why not.
It's very dark.
I'll go to the far end.
Right. I'll just have a little walk.
There's a staircase past that door as well.
Is that?
Yeah, we're going to walk in at some point. That's necromancy.
Cobwebs.
There's also a story of a potential murder.
It's like someone looked at local.
Keep on walking.
Yeah.
Footsteps all the time.
It's abandoned in the local, definitely.
I don't know. Is there anyone there? Anyone here? Is anyone here? Is there anyone here? Talk to us. Talk to us. Who's that?
That you, Tony? I don't know what that was.
Hang on. I don't know.
Something down here.
What?
I don't know what it was.
It sounded like a huge clunk. It was not. Was it the plug? It sounded plasticky to me.
I didn't kick anything.
You didn't kick anything? No, did you pick it up?
Well, no, I've got this camera.
No, did you
There's
hear
only
it?
two
though?
things there that it could be.
That's not the same noise. It was kind of like that, wasn't it?
What's that? This is ridiculous.
One step over here. It's up a GoPro. No, it's not just here.
This is ridiculous.
I know it's one neck.
We've only been here like a few minutes.
Hang on a second.
There. There. What is going on here? There's no one here. How's them noises? Where are they from?
What the hell?
Am I saying things? There. That was a door.
It sounded like the door behind you, Tony.
I think it sounds like it's up above one. But that's definitely derelict.
It's all the time.
It's not. No, you can hear the difference.
That's a grumble, like a rumbly.
Like you're pulling something.
Yeah. Should I have a walk up them stairs with this camera?
Yeah, do it. Don't go too far.
No, I'll only go up a couple of flights. Because that's ridiculous.
See the video's logo right here? Well, instead of that, you just drop in your own logo. It used to be...
Whoa.
That was just here, man.
That's got to be picked up, that. Like something dragging along the floor.
It's here. It's here. Oh, like it's a huge cobweb. Massive. 15, 20 foot long cobweb here.
Alan Robson's Night Owls.
The phone-in that gets you talking.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Now, do not forget, we have a competition to win you a drinky thing. And if you would like to win said drinky thing, I'm going to give you 4 clues. Each clue will be a song title. You'll have 4 song titles. You've got to tell me the name of the artist whose hits. And a moody and slightly frisky-looking woman called Haley Rhodes said, had one teacher tell me to run, girl, and push me during rounders. So I threw the bat down and said, you F-wording, run. The bat hit her in the nose, blood all over. I said, ooh, there's a bit of X in her. 0191 488 3188. A couple of other things have come in. Tony said, we had a teacher called Mr. Underwood who would hit you round the back of your head with a 2-inch thick physics book. Funny, though, physics was my best subject. I still didn't hit you hard enough, though, Tony, frankly. And Anne said, hi, Alan. I saw Meatloaf in concert at the City Hall. Brilliant. Best gig I'd ever been to. Better even than Fleetwood Mac or any of the others. My favourite song of his, Rock and Roll Dreams. So we've got to put Rock and Roll Dreams down as one of those to choose from. Chris Felton is making a list of them. And if you want to nominate your favourite, you WhatsApp us on 07863 431 837. Save us to your contacts. Makes it dead easy. Then you can do it every week. We got Stuart next. He's in Ellington. Hello, Stuart.
Good evening, Alan.
Hello, mate. I'm very well. Thank you for coming on. What can we do for you, mate?
Right. Thank you. I've just joined as a supporter.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Be involved. The wife's been a supporter from day one, so
excellent.
I thought we better make it a family affair now.
And, good.
Get it all going.
Thank you.
Just thank you very much for sort of going out there and giving us a lot of the history. We live up Ellington, so we've got the Pew Tower Castle's only 3/4 of a mile, and Chibin is just 3 miles away.
Brilliant.
It's really intrigued that you come back with so many, facts. We've lived here, I've lived here 50 years, and I've never known anything about the border rivers or anything about the ghost, the ghost on the beach, the witch that calls swim the Jorich. It's excellent, and you must be a minefield of great knowledge for that. One thing I want to try and talk about, if we could, is have you thought about the ghost team probably going up to Killup, to the Lead Mining Museum?
We've done we've done a few ghost hunts on radio there, and we've got galleries for it. And on Robson's World, you can actually hear the kill-up shows that we did, but we haven't done one with the new team on camera, and it has to happen. And we will do one, because there's two levels at Killip. First of all, obviously, there's the main buildings and that outside bit that used to be mainly child labour on the outside bit. So there's that. But on top of that, you've got the woods that are haunted too. You know, if you've been to Killip, you'll know you can go behind Killip and up the hill and see all the old buildings that are left derelict and what have you. So it's an absolute must, and we will do it, no question about it.
Because there was some guys who did a charity ghost hunt for cancer there a few years ago, wasn't there? And they didn't last very long. So we see it.
No, absolutely. We've had amazing experiences there before, and the old miners' huts that they allow you to go in, they've got dummies, and there's something about dummies that, God, I always think they look a bit weird before you even start. But if you're doing it in torchlight, it adds an extra strand to it. But going down that pit when you're up to your knees in water to start with, it is quite something. So no, we'd love to do that again, and I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah. What's your view on the new LiDAR gizmo that you're using now to pick up the stick figures?
Stick figures.
Yeah,
I'm to be completely convinced by it, because we got one just this weekend in a shop, and it was in front of this machine in the shop, and it was like we haven't caught anything. Could it just be the way that the machine has been shaped that picks up this thing? I don't know. I'd rather stick to my history, and if I'm told carry that, I will indeed carry it and try and get whatever I can on it. I'm not sure. What do you think?
We picked some figures up when you did No Shields last week,
right?
Just because we watched on television, and it was coming up live. It was picking up what you guys picked up on the screen, but we were also picking up other ones. I sent it through to you on WhatsApp.
Right? Yes.
Things.
Yes.
Especially when you and Kenny were sitting at the desk, it's in the bar.
Yes.
And you said, there's something beside me, or the chair moved.
Right.
And there's a figure of a child actually pointing you on the screen, which I couldn't. It was just a little bit too much of a coincidence. The timing was just perfect.
Right.
And I couldn't get my head around that one. I usually explain 90% of the stuff, but I thought, that was strange. I sent it to you guys on WhatsApp.
Yeah, we saw it. The thing is, it's those kind of moments, though, that I look for, because yes, 90% of the time there's good reason for most things, or what made that noise, what made that thing move, or whatever. There's usually a good reason for it. I always say, forget the 95%. Look for the 5% that doesn't have any other possible excuse. You look for an explanation first. But no, you're quite right. If it falls within that 5 to 10%, then we're very fortunate, and amazing that you got it. Well done.
Yeah, that's great. Just one final thing.
Yes,
thanks to Tony through the glass there for delivering the hoodies before Christmas. I'm going to have to buy the wife a new one, because this one's going to be worn out soon, because she's never got off her back.
That's good. It's good. So thanks for being so loyal and steadfast. Really appreciate the pair of you. Thanks very much, Stuart.
Yeah, well,
all the best. Bye-bye. Oh, bless him. 0191 488 3188. But how about that? We do have this new gadget that picks up energy when it looks physically shaped like a human being. And for him to pick up something that we didn't get, and yet I say there's something right beside me, and then it's right there and they catch it, that's amazing, because it's obviously not anything of our doing. He got that. Tremendous. Now, the one thing I haven't done yet is give you your first clue. I was quick enough to tell you about it. I wasn't thorough enough to actually tell you what it is. So let me share. 4 clues. The answer to each clue is a song title, and you've got to work out what the song titles are. The first clue is this: the best fish, meat, fruit, and vegetables are this. Okay? The best fish, meat, fruit, and vegetables are this. So what song title answers that clue? The best fish, meat, fruit, and vegetables are this. Right. You have 3 more clues to get. I promise you that the last 2 clues, absolutely a doddle. And yet, there's no other way of putting it to make it more obtuse. So you're going to get the last 2 clues and you'll know instantly who it is. Then you can work back and solve the previous puzzles, unless you're a genius and you've got them already. Let's crack on. We have Ricky next. Hello, Ricky.
Hi, Alan. You all right?
Yes, I'm good, mate. What can we do for you?
I spoke to you last week, didn't I? But do you know what it is? I've been listening to you for absolutely years. And I got really nervous.
That's all right. I mean, this was the sports trader thing, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So we started talking about a few things. Funnily enough, I know you've been talking about school tonight.
Right.
All my stuff, all my troubles, if you like, started when I got expelled from school in South Shields. Even though I said this last week, even though I've got this accent, I grew up in the northeast.
Right. Yeah.
And I got expelled from school, and then sort of descended onto a path of homelessness, addiction, petty crime, and sort of bounced about the country and sleeping rough, and doing various things. Got into a lot of trouble. Was in and out of young offenders institutions and places like that, and then sort of in my early 20s, calmed down a lot. Did a couple of things. I went out to volunteer in Africa, which sort of changed everything. And then from there, stayed out of trouble. And when I was 32, 44 now, when I was 32, I got into the armed forces. And that's what I've been doing for the last 13 years.
Right.
But as I was telling you last week, I'm about to leave. And I'm coming home kind of thing. Because I live right down in Cornwall.
Yes.
So I'm coming home, and we're bringing a charity up with us, me and a friend who also lives up there.
Uh-huh.
And that's sort of what we were talking about last week.
That's right.
So, if you don't mind, I'll just tell you about it, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course. Go for it.
Yeah, so I also, the other thing that I do, with all my background I was just talking about there, I do my own podcast that nobody really watches. I've got a YouTube channel called From the Outside. Outside Looking In podcast, and we talk about homelessness and addiction and stuff like that. And we got talking to a guy called Lance Haggith, who is a very, very successful businessman. And he's got his own national charity. He won the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award. The Unsung Hero Award in 2011.
Good.
So he's got a national charity that me and my friend we're in charge of bringing it up to Newcastle. And by all accounts, it's a second-hand shop that sells very good sporting equipment, and all of the proceeds go towards paying the staff that will be working in the second-hand shop. And then we reinvest the money that's made into the local community, into different sports projects, and to underprivileged kids and stuff, to try and sort of stop them going down the same route that myself and others like me went down.
Right. No, it sounds good. It sounded great last week. Still sounds great. Just at the moment, you've got nowhere for people to bring anything they may wish to donate.
So we can collect. There's my friend who's up there. I will be up there. What date are we on? I am currently in the midst of leaving the forces, and I already have a house in North Shields. And I'll be up there permanently within a couple of weeks. But my partner's up there as well. My business partner, I say business partner. We do a few things together. He's up there as well, and we're already collecting. So if people have got stuff, we can collect them. When I say stuff, I just mean, if your kids have grown out of football boots and they're just lying around, but they're in decent nick, we're selling them on for £5.
Sure.
If what month are we in now? We are in we're coming to the end of January.
Sure.
So if you've bought any equipment for your New Year's resolution, but you've realised that you're not going to use it, bring it our way.
Absolutely. It sounds great because there is a lot of kit, and also a lot of people get involved with football teams or cricket teams or rounders teams, and they get into a league, and then all of a sudden they're not in the league anymore, and they've got a whole teams with a kit. That's the kind of stuff ideally that you'd love to get hold of.
Yeah. Again, so we just a couple of sports clubs, a rugby club up there. I don't want to mention any names at the moment, but a rugby club up there have donated a load of kit, and there's talks of running clubs and certain football clubs in the area. I mean, we'd love Newcastle United to get involved. Obviously, that would be a dream come true. But not just places like Newcastle United, any sort of local sports team. If you've got kit just that isn't getting used, give it to us.
Pass it on, and you can use it. No, for
Pass
sure.
it on, and then we will reinvest all of the proceeds into different sporting opportunities to give these, especially coming out of COVID.
No,
it's been a rough
absolutely.
2 years.
Perfect time for something like this, Ricky. But thank you very much for getting back in touch.
No worries.
We'll see and we'll watch you grow. Thanks for calling. So how about that? If you can help, please do. Greg in Cambridge says, Alan, I went to school in the 1990s, so thankfully none of us got whacked, hit, or tortured in any way. My family have told me so many stories of sadistic teachers more concerned with inflicting pain and terror than actually teaching the next generation of human beings. The most ridiculous story I heard was a kid being caned for playing football in the playground at lunchtime. It was a rugby school, and all the headmaster, it was a rugby school, and all the headmaster hated football. No wonder England haven't won a World Cup since 1966. Whacking great show as always, Greg in Cambridge. And speaking of being whacked, school punishments, we've all had a few. The punishments for kids just seem to have disappeared altogether, because to me, detention's not a punishment. And the other thing they do, which I would have loved, I would never have been at school. If you're bad in class, they say, I'm going to send you home for the day. Well, blame me. I'd have been acting in registration class. Robson, I'm not here, missus. How about that? So what kind of punishments have you had? Time for a piece of music. Let's have another star coming out at night. And this is Kool and the Gang talking about their parents. Your parents must have been a little freaked by this, expecting you to become doctors initially and buy them a house and what have you. Then you're taking a chance on music where, frankly, the vast majority of people that work in the music business never reached the heights. They must have been a little bit concerned, surely.
There was concern. I mean, it was an up and down thing. But once they saw that we might have a shot at it, and, the support was there,
Right.
Okay, just make sure you guys, learn a lot and do a good job while you're out there. And our parents was close to all of us, like my mother and George's mother. She would, if I did something wrong, she would get on me just like my mother would get on the parents for all of it.
Sick? You feel sick?
I feel a bit sick. So why?
That noise, though, it just sounded like it was within a yard of you before.
Yes, definitely in the middle.
Did you hear that? Why didn't it sound above me? It sounded here. It's like moving like this, big, heavy. Do you know what I mean? It's
like someone getting dragged along the floor.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Absolutely. Even if this place had people in it, you wouldn't make noises like that. There's no cause. That's pulling huge, heavy pieces of furniture. Jesus. Voice. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Speak to us. Speak to us. If you want to communicate in any way, make a noise. Now, when Oliver Cromwell was here, please don't forget to share. We need as many shares as possible. We want to get out there. Remember, we are Alan Robson's Night Owls, ghost hunting. Get us out there to as many. Listen to that. When Cromwell was here. Oh. What the hell? Oh, it's it. Oh, I see. Right. Did you get anything? I was getting drag noises.
Sounds like it's up there.
But there's some down here too, there's no question. I was just saying, when Oliver Cromwell came here, the castle, it's non-stop and it's all around, and some of it's down here. Right at the very end was the noisiest part. Cromwell at the time was known as Old Noll. And it was said Old Noll, in his pious, brave, tore down the castle, sold it, and left the barn remain. And why did he leave the barn to remain? I've got a murder conspiracy to share with you a little bit later about the most famous person ever to visit Stockton. The reason why I mentioned it is, when they took over the castle, before he pulled it down, a whole load of royalists, his fervent enemy, were said to have hidden in the tunnels beneath the castle where we are. And Cromwell pulled the castle down, blocked up the tunnels, and in the 1950s, skeletal remains were found of those people that were buried alive. So could it be those, the spirits of those people? Is that you that we're talking about? Is that you? If that was you, make oh, it's just a bit. If that was you, make a noise now.
You can feel it here.
This atmosphere. Did you put that in the middle, Kerry? Tony? Was that where it was?
I think so, yeah. I did notice it before.
Okay.
I noticed that before.
Did you?
I don't know where it was, mine.
Right.
But I did notice it. Did you hear that?
Clear footsteps. I heard
that was here though.
I know. I heard a voice over there too.
Should we just stay quiet for like a minute?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because there's all sorts happening. That's road.
That was beautiful. If there's anyone in there,
Are people hearing stuff?
maybe I all the time.
My heart. There's that stuff, look. Can you see it in front of me? In front of me?
Follows you everywhere you go.
Look at that. Look at that. You cannot mistake that, can you?
No.
That'll get one of me night vision will get that.
Oops, no.
And the camera there, like the dear me. Say again? It's a spiral stair up to the next level, and there's a big room up there. It is quite spooky, man, up there.
Did you hear that?
I think that may have been me, man.
Is that you?
It might have been. You don't know, yeah? You sort of.
Hey entrepreneur, It's time. Time to get rid of your accountant. Chances are you found yourself dealing with an accountant quickly after starting your business. After all, you need someone to do your taxes, right? Wrong. You need to save your...
What the hell? What was that? That was that. It's moving. It was moving. I made it fell off. I made it rush it. How come it fall off from there? Yeah, to go. I heard a noise there, Kian. This is getting ridiculous now. That might just be the door shut. No, that shut afterwards. It's all the time. There's no one here. Listen, that man.
It's like if I was going...
Yeah. But as if you got big boots on.
Well, have you?
Yeah. It's like clump, isn't it? Like a clumping noise. Oh, I don't get this one. I just see the light up there.
191 488 3188.
This is Night Owls.
So what is it that you want to talk about? Pick up a telephone, give us a bell. Come on, let's get cracking. 0191 488 3188. Steve says, I remember that one of my maths teachers used to throw the blackboard eraser at the kids who spoke out of turn in class. Nasty piece of work he was. And Viv, hi, Alan, just sitting thinking, as you do, on the 2nd of February, it will be the 2nd of the 2nd, 22. Neil would know that. They absolutely would, for sure. The 2nd of the 2nd, 22. There you go. So, whatever your subject matter is, whatever you want to talk about, doesn't have to be about school, could be about absolutely anything. All you have to do is give us a ring, 0191 488 3188, or contact us on that WhatsApp. We've got an Anonymous from South Shields. Hello, Anonymous.
Hello there, you all right?
Yes, I'm good, darling. What can we do for you?
Hello there, Alan. I just want to give you a ring because obviously I'm a bit confused at the minute. I have been in a relationship with a partner for over a year. We have been on and off arguing all the time.
Right.
But there is a certain person in my life who I've known about 15 years. She is a very, very good friend of mine.
Uh-huh.
And every time we go out on dates and stuff like that, I've always thought about her.
Right.
And obviously I'm a bit confused at the minute. I don't know if I love her more than I do of my partner.
Right. First thing is she in a relationship too?
That's the funny thing about it. At the minute, she is in a relationship, but she keeps telling me she isn't happy, but they are engaged. And I am engaged with my partner, but I think she knows as much as I know we do love each other.
Right, but there's different types of love, obviously. There's love like best friends love, which is everlasting as anything. Is it
I think
you fancy her kind of thing?
Best friends love.
Have you had that conversation with her?
Well, we have had a conversation before, if you don't get married to your partner in so many years, we'll marry each other and, we'll stay together and stuff. But I think I was a bit more serious than that than what she was.
I think before you have when you're going out and you talk about when you're going out on dates and stuff, when you go out with her, like a girls' night, or the lads are out and you and her stay in for a pizza and a film or whatever, before you have a drink, why don't you just say to her, look, this is something that we kind of touched on, but we've never properly spoken about it. You're not really happy in your relationship. I've got a lot of question marks in mine too. I just think you and I should have a serious conversation. Have you ever thought about you and I being an item? Now, you'll be able to tell the moment you say that whether you can push on with it or whether you just say, hey, no matter what happens, whether you do or whether you don't, doesn't change. I'll always love you. You're my best friend and da-di-da. So you can get out of it if you need to. But if she says, oh, I've thought about you every night for the last whatever, well, then at least you'll know you're on the same page as the girl. But the other thing I would say to you, though, is if both of you do feel that way, before you two do anything, sort out what you got at home. Have a word with the fella and say, I know we were expecting to do this. I've had a change of heart. I don't want that to happen anymore. You don't have to get into, I'm going to go out with this one or that one, because that's none of his concern once you're no longer with him. But you are with him at the moment, and she's with her fella at the moment. Make sure you start with a clean sheet, because there'll be nothing worse than they find out that you're doing stuff behind the back, and then it just gets miserable for everybody. So trust me, if you are gonna, but you see, in a way, maybe you both should do that anyway. You both sound like you're unhappy with the partnership that you've got. And why would you're engaged? Why would you marry somebody that you're not happy with? I mean, that to me doesn't make any sense at all.
And obviously with being over the years now, it's like loving my best friend. And obviously she actually, to be honest, she is now, and because I have a few drinks and I don't obviously want to say it in front of me partner or her partner, you know what I mean?
No, of course. But you've got to have that conversation. Now, bottom line, if you separate these into, if you put everything in its own little cubicle and you say, are you happy with your lad? No, you're not. Well, break it off, get shot, get free. Then you can make whatever decision you want to make, and it's nobody's business but yours. And that's the same with her if she's not happy. If she is happy and she's just saying to you she's not happy because she knows you're not happy, that could be a possibility, because people do that. But you've got to have a serious conversation. And then if you do break free of both your partners, take it slow. You don't have to dive into something, because you've got to remember that as best friends, there's no barriers to you being friends forever. But if you start a relationship, that changes the whole best friend thing. Sometimes it can make it wonderful. The reverse is also true, and you should be aware of that. But you've got to find out how the land lies first. And I hope you're not just hanging on to the guy. Are you just hanging on to the guy, hoping for this girl and keeping him dangling for no reason?
Well, I think that's what I actually am doing, Alan, because I am scared. If I don't get an answer off her, I am going to lose. Like, obviously, the best thing that did happen in the company that I have got right now, because I don't like being alone in the home.
Yeah, so you'd rather be with the wrong person than be on your own?
Yes, and I know that sounds stupid, but yes, that is correct.
Well, even more reason for you to make sure that you have that conversation, so you know what your fallback is. I just think it's very sad, because what you're doing, you're saying, I would rather sentence myself to a life that I'm not happy with rather than be alone. To be honest, I'm kind of like that. I like being with somebody, but if you are on your own, you're free to find someone new, without guilt, without conscience, without any of that.
I'm with someone for 8 years, and obviously I've had that bond, where we're planning a baby, we're planning on moving in together, we're planning on moving away from where we are living now in Shields, and I don't want to upset him, and I don't want to upset this girl's boyfriend either.
That's why you've got to have that conversation. Have a word with us. Say, how about going out for a cup of coffee? How about popping out just for a drink, just for an hour? There's something I want to have a chat with you about. And do it in a place where you're not going to get overheard, and you can, get it all out in the open. Then at least you know what's what. But honestly, hand on heart, if you stay with a guy and don't have a baby with him, just do not. Because a lot of people have babies thinking, well, this will make things better. If things are crap beforehand, they're not going to get suddenly uncrap. There's just the extra pressure if you're having a baby with somebody you may well not be with in a year or two. So don't even go down that road. Find out how things are. And if it sounds to me like you've already kind of made your mind up that if she said thumbs up, you'd be off like a whistle. So if that's the case, you need to have that conversation sooner rather than later, because your guy deserves better than this.
He did, you know, he deserves the world. He deserves the truth. He deserves no lies given to him. Do you know what I mean?
Because even this conversation here is going behind his back. And that's not great, you know. So try and sort it out as soon as you can, love, all right?
I will. Thanks for your help there, Alan.
Yeah,
and I'll
welcome.
take that. I'm going to speak to her now and then speak to, you know, my partner and her partner.
All right. Hey, fingers crossed for you all. Hope it works out for everybody. Tricky, isn't it? I think that's tricky. Also, here's one that's just come in. Who's this from? Can't see a name. I know where they live, though. They're in... Alan, me and a friend are opening a furniture household shop in Ashington, opening on Saturday the 29th. Can you give us a shout? We also offer carpet and removal services. It's Browns. Quality household goods, bought and sold, 112 Milburn Road, Ashington. NE63... 0PQ. There you go. So watch out for it. It's on Milburn Road. And another one's coming. Wondering if the Night Owls can help with a query. I recently changed my car registration plate. My tax reminder in the post displays my old reg. How can I now tax my car with the new reg attached? Looked online, can't find the answer anywhere. Thanks. Car registrations, if you change it to like a personality or private plate, what I've always done is just have a word with your local garage, the garage you go to for like MOTs or for a service or whatever. If you have a word with them, they can go online and start the whole process off. I went on the Swansea website to change mine, and I could do that digitally. Saves you waiting for 40 minutes on a phone, and sometimes them having to ring you back. But that's what I did. If not, local garage will do it on your behest. 0191 488 3188. And a quick mention for DJ John. I don't know whether you've heard, he was rushed to hospital with a suspected heart attack. He's had life-saving surgery, bless him. He seems to be on the mend. We know he would just like Alan to know. Alison Heslop, life-saving heart surgery. Hell's teeth. Also, hi, it's Kerry from Cramlington. My dad passed away on the 10th of January this year. Kerry, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's very, very sad indeed. What a shame. Blimey, you never know what's round the corner, do you? Especially not on the Night Owls. Let's crack on. Let's get Graham and Kyle there in... Oh, I beg your pardon. Anne from Sunderland is first. I was jumping the queue there. So let's have a word with Anne. Hello, Anne.
Hello, Alan.
Hello there.
Right. What it is, I asked me carer to have I says, can I have a hard-boiled egg?
Right.
So anyhow, in she went in the kitchen. I'm sitting on my chair. Anyhow, there was a massive explosion. I said, what's that? She says, oh, it's only your egg. I said, what pan did you put it in? She says, well, the one with the net. She'd only put it in the deep fat fryer.
Oh, what?
So it cost the company over £300 to get the kitchen done.
Oh, that's what? How the hell does she cook a boiler? So you've asked for a hard-boiled egg. She's obviously never cooked one before, and she thinks, I know what I'll do. I'll put it in the chip pan. That'll sort it out. That's brilliant.
But she says if you'd asked for a soft-boiled egg, that wouldn't have happened.
I think it probably would. Oh dear, that is funny. But you're all right though. You didn't get splashed or anything, Anne.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Aye.
If anything, she would have got it.
Oh
So I
dear.
was
me.
still in my chair.
That is funny. Hey, well, thank you for sharing. Stay well, Anne. Lovely to hear from you.
Thanks, Alan. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. I promised you Graham and Kyle. They're in South Shields. Let's go there now. Hiya, fellas. Hello, lads. Graham and Kyle from South Shields. Are you there? Speak now or forever hold your pips.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. Gotcha. Hurrah.
Hello.
Hello, mate. What can we do for you?
I just want to wish everybody a happy New Year, especially you, Alan.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
But I just want to basically talk to you today about a new community radio station that's launched in South Shields.
Okay, what's it called?
It's called Radio Shields.
Radio Shields. Perfect name.
Across the mouth of the Tyne.
Brilliant.
So it's a local community radio. Basically, we're launched in 2019, but as of 11th of December last year, a few weeks ago now, we launched on the first small-scale DAB service.
Excellent. That's great.
Which obviously allows small radio stations like us for the community to broadcast at very low cost.
Great.
The station's operated by volunteers. So we're always looking for people who may want to help out in the office, maybe want to go on air and talk to their local community, or go out into, go out and report on things community based.
Right.
We do like outdoor broadcasting and stuff like that. Recently, we've just done outdoor broadcasting at Ocean Beach Pleasure Park when they did all the ice skating.
Right. So, what kind of music do you play? A bit of everything, or what is it?
It's a kind of a bit of everything, yeah, definitely.
Good, that's excellent. So, what show have you got then?
I've got the Sunday evening show, which is 7 through 10.
Great.
It's you've got a couple of requests every now and again, but mine focuses on local music, local talent.
Oh, that's great. Even better.
So tonight I've just had Malcolm Richardson on, who's the Hat Man. He's part of a group called the Hat Band,
yes,
based in South Shields.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had him on the night, and the list is never ending for people who want to get on. So
that's brilliant. If people are listening, do they have to live in Shields to fit, or can they travel in to be part of the show and part of the station?
They can travel in, yep. I think it's like the northeast area that we're aiming for. So
right, great.
So Middlesbrough, Redcar, you can travel up if you want. It's entirely up to you.
Yeah, if you want to be part of it, how do they contact you then?
So you can find us online, radioshields.co.uk.
Right.
We work closely with just a shout out to our partners, the Customs House, Ray Spencer there, who's just recovered from an illness, actually. Sadly, pantomime last year across the northeast was kind of hit bad with all the
for sure.
COVID stuff going on. But a big shout out to them. South Tyneside Council are partners there. The Exchange down in North Shields, and all these small, local. Well, all these local businesses have actually, they are supporters, which is a massive help.
Just what you need. I know, that's exciting times. Where are you based then? Where is Radio Shields?
We're based on Westow Road in South Shields, literally 2 minutes from the town centre. So
Excellent.
It's the road into South Shields town centre. We've got our signs up. We've got you just can't miss us. You honestly can't miss us. I mean, we're on King Street. We've got a nice big plasma thing on King Street at the minute. So we love community. We love Shields and beyond. And we're just calling for people who may want to come and get involved with us. Come and share their talent. Come and showcase their local music. Come and tell their story. And I always say to people, don't just listen, get involved.
Always, tremendous.
It's definitely a good thing. I mean, away from radio, I work full time in a school.
Right.
But community radio to me, is
it's
a
rootsy.
passion.
It is rootsy and it's good stuff. Well, enjoy Radio Shields. Look it up if you fancy helping them out, if you fancy getting your own show, or just being a part of something brand new that's starting to kick. Good luck to you. All the best. Thanks for coming on.
It's lovely talking to a legend like you, Alan.
Well, bless you. Thank you kindly. All the best. 0191 488 3188. All good. Brian Vos, Alan, regarding the old school days, I had to strap loads of times and a cane as a kid. Knee holds barred back then. They're all softies now. Yeah. But there's no... The problem is that may indeed be the case, but they can get away with stuff. Should we have some form of punishment in schools? Because at the present moment, we don't seem to. A lot more messages coming in on that. As soon as I mentioned the WhatsApp thing, it loads up. Chris has sent in a couple. My father worked in the shipyards. My mum worked at the Sunderland Royal Hospital until she retired. Growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, but we knew we were loved. We played out in the street or the park most of the times. There were 7 children in our family, and my mum and dad adopted 2. We didn't get pocket money, but what you don't get, you don't miss. We used to run messages to earn a bit of money, said Susan, which is lovely, and not a million miles from my background either. And this one comes from Mel. Can you tell me, where did you get your dowsing rods from? Do the dowsing rods have a particular name that I look for, as I love the ones you have? Hope you don't mind me asking. Thank you very much. You can help me with my questions. Thank you, Mel. I got them off a witch in New Orleans, which is not going to help you at all. There isn't a brand name attached to them. Her name was Sister Mimi Lansou. She's based in New Orleans, and she was working on a TV show that I was working on. And at the end of it, we got friendly, not friendly, but we got friendly. And she was on the show, and I was on her thing a couple of times. And as a gift, she gave me some dowsing rods, and they're the ones that I use to this day, for I treasure things that are gifts, because they already have a little bit of magic attached to them. And this one from Andy: used to listen to your old radio show some 25 years ago, visited me family in Newcastle. I was probably around 15, lying in bed with my headphones on. It was much to my dismay that I discovered the show had been discontinued a few years back. Heard your voice on TV tonight, reminded me of that, and after a Google, was delighted to find you doing a Sunday show. That's good stuff. Thank you very much. You're an inspiration, and those late nights listening to your show will always be a fun memory. That's sweet. Good to be known for something decent. Thumbs up to that. Let's talk to a star who comes out at night. This is Paul Young, and then we'll have a tune from the very man. This is talking about his ups and his downs. What's been your highlight and your low light so far, Paul? Your best bit and your worst bit in the business?
Best bit, I should say Live Aid because it was the biggest, but the Freddie Mercury concert was a blast because the Queen fans are about the most loyal fans I've ever come across in my life. And to get up and sing Radio Gaga with them and go, oh, you hear is, and they all do that thing with their hands. I was like, my God, this is like Hitler in front of an adoring crowd.
It's power,
it's like, it was amazing. It's like the support was unbelievable, and just to feel that for a moment was a very special thing.
No, but on top of that, you did it well, and you were chosen because you had a voice that could do the song well. You did the song amazing. I remember watching it on TV thinking, first of all, Freddie was Freddie.
Yeah.
How the hell do you do it? You've got to do it a slightly different way, your way, and be you.
Yeah.
How's Paul going to manage this? And I thought you were stunning. And it was one of those things where, again, off stage and chatting with you, you've got an air of confidence about you, but when you get up on stage, you can be, to pardon the Freddie pun, you can be mercurial. You're up there and you're doing your thing.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy it, and look, I'm getting up there with Brian May and Roger Taylor and having a whale of a time. How can you not take that opportunity to enjoy yourself?
No, you can live in that kind of company quite happily, I think. It's fair to say. So what about the lowest ebb? Has there been a moment where you questioned it all and thought, oh, stuff this for a game of soldiers?
By about 87, 88, it was getting... I'd gone from the screaming, which was the first time that happened, was a shock. Then it was like about time you had a minder. Then so I had a minder that hadn't done it for very long, but it was enough to get by. Then we realised he wasn't professional enough, so we got a more professional minder. Then I got 2 professional minders, were SAS. So
Wow.
it was going up to that point now, and then it was. The fans have all followed the tour bus back to the hotel. It's best if you don't go out. Then they would say it's best if you don't go to the bar to meet your friends, because some of them had got into the hotel. Then it was you best not to come out of your room because they're stalking the floors. And then I started to get like claustrophobia, and I thought, I want to get out.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel hemmed in.
Yeah.
And that was when it stopped being enjoyable.
Your life suddenly becomes, it's not your life anymore. You're just in a box.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, the one thing that really got me out of that was buying a big old Harley Davidson. And when I got home, I'd get on that. Not even, because even in a car or in a plane, you're in a fuselage or you're still hemmed in a little bit.
Sure.
But to get on a motorcycle and ride after you come off a long tour, being stuck on a tour bus for ages, it felt so good.
Yeah, just a little. I felt freezing as well. And yet it was warm in here before. Oh, is it not that? Was it not a camera? Could be a bell.
Yeah. Well, even here, someone grab that camera. So, we're going to leave here, we'll need to grab that camera.
Look at these cobwebs here. Crazy. Go right across there. You see that? Can you make that out for you now?
A little bit. I don't know. Seen anyone yet for a while.
All the way down that gap. You can see that. Okay, there's plenty of cobwebs there. Oh, you take that camera, or we leave it? No, that's true. We tried. We don't have that many noises. What was that? Or was that you? Look at them cobwebs, man. I'm just going to turn this light off. 1 minute.
Is there anyone in here? A woman said yes immediately.
Yeah.
Did any of you die there again?
I don't think she said yes, I think she said Jess.
Jess.
I might be wrong, maybe. I might be wrong. Just do a full slow walk. I'll do a walk up here. In video. Weird noise. That's me. Yeah, that's me. Just move this a bit. There's some noises. There's all kinds of stuff. Where's that coming from? But it's old music. But that's like old music, wasn't it? You must have heard that.
I didn't hear it until the next one.
It was like a mouse.
What?
Like a running. No, there's not. It was heavier than a mouse. It was like a
rat.
No. It wasn't soft. It was hard.
The best way to make money with Amazon in 2021 is not by selling physical products on Amazon.
Is this where you died? Why do you walk here? Why do you walk here? Noises. Is it you making the noises? Are you doing it? Noises.
Is that you, Tony? There's a noise just there. I thought that moved. I thought you touched that and moved it. Did you not move that there?
I might have ripped the leg off.
Oh, right. What the hell was that then?
Is that plug again?
What plug?
It was over there. Something moved over there behind that tree.
Really?
Is that bulb? That bulb was there before.
No, that bulb's over there.
There's a bulb in there before. Listen.
That you cannot mistake that, man. And the voice. But it was a woman's voice.
This is Night Owls on Greatest Hits Radio.
You never know who's going to call next.
0191 488 3188.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Okay, time for a second clue. First and second clue. Remember, you will be getting 4 clues across the show. Each clue, the answer to it, is a song title, and you've got to work out what the songs are. Then you've got to tell me whose greatest hits they were. The first clue is this. The best fish, meat, fruit, and vegetables are this. The best fish, meat, fruit, and vegetables are this. The second clue. When you make monkey noises, when you make monkey noises, your bath or shower is usually this, or it's freezing. Okay? When you make monkey noises, your bath or shower is usually this, or it's freezing. Okay? 2 song titles. 2 more song titles to come. Do not ring in till you got the answer to all 4, or you know ultimately who the artist is. I'll tell you when you can call in, and we'll find a winner for our drinks thingy. Right, let's crack on. We got Edwin with us. He's in Gateshead. Hi, Edwin.
Hello, mate. Hi.
Hi.
I heard that the night owls might be finishing soon. Is that right?
Well, you never know. You can never tell. It's inevitable that it'll happen at some point.
I hope not. Oh, it's just like I've said before, the pity we couldn't get like some gun to try and get your own radio station where you could create your own destiny then, couldn't you?
Well,
Like
hey,
your own radio station.
I've had a fair bit of destiny as it is, and I'll always be about doing something. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's great. I look forward to Sunday. It's kind of
Charming. Thank you.
Good school, there was a teacher when I was at school. I used to fancy me, the maths teacher. But she used to like you. She was always. It was only lesson. Only lesson I went to, and I used to get bullied. And then the lads would work themselves with us. They used to these stupid things. They put blue tack on the ears, like put blue tack on the ears and things like that.
Oh.
And if they said something, they would just blame me. She would be all that sorry. You know, I was only lesson I went to when I was a bully. She looked like Des O'Connor. What? I remember her name.
It's funny, but if you fancy the teacher that's in charge of you, it's the only lesson you go in with your hair combed. You know, you've been playing football. You've been playing football in the yard or something. But
I knew a lad that made one of the teachers.
Is that right? Wow.
Aye, one of the teachers. Aye.
Fantastic.
I was working when I went to school. He started a course with me. He was telling us. I didn't have to still together, but aye, my teacher. Aye.
Amazing.
What else is it? Oh, I get indigestion a lot.
Right.
I bought a book called Get Off Your Acid. It's a really good book for when you get indigestion stuff.
Right.
It tells you like about alkali. It's like an alkali diet.
Right.
I bought stuff called molecular hydrogen. It's like tablets that you get in water to neutralise the water, the tap water.
Right.
I'm waiting for them coming. I haven't had them yet. I'm waiting for them coming. But what I normally take is like some sort of tablets and that to stop the indigestion, like vitamins, like zinc, potassium and magnesium.
Yeah.
It works really well, you know, and that.
Yeah.
Works really good, aye.
Well, hey, fingers crossed you can get shot of it. It's a nasty thing, and especially if you've got indigestion all the time.
I've had an endoscopy, you know, I hate getting them.
Mm.
I mean, I've had times where the food's getting stuck a few times because you've got to be like narrow, you know.
Right.
But it's all right now. Like it's I'm managing now. I'm drinking a lot of water. I didn't drink, you see.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it seems to be helping. Like, how are you then? Are you all right?
I'm all right, yeah. Every bit's still working. That's the main thing.
Oh, I'd generally be happy with that then.
There you go. What can I say? Hey, good talking to you, man. Thanks for coming on, Edwin. You too. Bye-bye. 01914 883188. Nothing's fallen off yet. Only a matter of time. Paul is up next. Oh, he sent some photos in as well. Hang on, let me have a look at the photos first. Let me check out what these are. Oh, blimey, that's not great. Hang on. Oh, hell's teeth. No, this is not good at all. We're talking mold tonight. No, it looks dangerous even. Paul's with us. He's in North Shields. No, he's not. He's in North Wales, not North Shields. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Alan. How are you?
Yaki da. Where's all this mold?
It's in my bungalow. I've had it for the last 2 years.
How come you can't get shot of it? I thought there was paint. First of all, you wash it down, let it dry, and then you paint on this special mold protecting thing. Does that stuff not work?
Well, I'm still waiting for the landlord supposed to be sorting it out, but that was 3 years ago.
But I know you sent a picture. It's your jacket. You've got like a leather jacket, and it's just moldy as hell.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's just.
So what does your landlord say? Because obviously, if you're renting, they should be sorting that out. You can't expect people to live like that.
I've only seen him once in 3 years. He lives in Southampton. So.
And I know that you can't stop paying your rent, otherwise they can get shot of you.
That's it.
But you kind of live like that. I mean, are you cleaning it every couple of days? It's horrible.
Yes, I'm literally writing it down and using that the spray what you can buy from supermarkets.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I think it works. The mold usually exacerbates it. It gets worse if it's in a place that hasn't got any air getting to it. Any air from outside. The places where the mold is, have you got a window you can keep open? Have you got?
I've got the windows, and I've got the freeze air blocks.
Freeze block, yeah. And still, it's as bad as because it's not just a little bit of mold. That whole wall's gone.
I moved back up to Northumberland, but.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's ask. We'll have some builders out there that have probably had to deal with this. If you are a builder, or if you know a bit about mould, because that's ugly looking. Tony, stick the one up with his jacket as well. Just give us a quick sharing of all three photos, so that if you're a builder and you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, this is ugly stuff, but Hollywood will put it on the screen. There's 3 pictures, and they're all awful. And if this was your house, you'd want to do something about it. It's his bungalow in North Wales, so it's not just mould; it's Welsh mould, and it's just I would hate that. And look at that, when you hang your clothes up, you go to put your jacket on, and you've got to wipe that down and try and get all that gunk off before you even hit the door. That's
definitely.
No, it's outrageous. And that other one of the wall that you had was. Look at the state of that. That looks like you could put your finger in it. It's that deep.
You could write your name on it.
Oh, awful. No, I feel so sorry. So if there's anybody that knows what to do about it, give us a call. Hang on, advice is coming in. There you go. Seal it bang. Bang and a scrubbing brush sorted it out for me. Hot water. Leave it to dry. Leave it, then dry it off after a few days. It worked for me. Proper scrubbing brush, though, like the hard.
Yes,
and you've really got to scrub it really super, super hard. So you scrub it like hell with Seal It Bang. Seal It Bang's dear. Use it. You need a bottle and a half for this sucker, mine.
Yeah, but
that really the super hard scrubbing brush. I think if you just use the basic spray, it'll just come back and come back and come back.
Yes.
Seal It Bang, and I know people make fun of Seal It Bang a bit, but it isn't half strong. So also, Hoops Malt Waiter says, dehumidifier and keep your windows open is a helpful thing as well. If you're using that amount of Seal It Bang, you want your windows open anyway, just to because of chemicals and stuff. Good luck to you. If we get any more advice, we'll share it with you, man.
Another thing was the school memories.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
When I remember 1975, my first school, Cambridge in Ashton.
Right, yes.
My mum used to take me, I must have been only like 6, 7, and she used to walk me to school with me.
Right.
As soon as the bell rung, I used to be climbing over the wall.
Yeah, I think it's a bit early school's a bit like the prisoner of war camp in The Great Escape. Everybody wants to hop out of the wall.
It felt like a prison. It's a 6-foot wall. I still using my 6 foot.
Fantastic. Hey,
I used to
happy
take my mum home. So
I mean, did you enjoy the whole experience, or did you find it unpleasant?
There's times now where I regret not stopping out of school.
Right.
So I think if I had one choice in life, I would end up going back to school.
Right.
So,
right. And what do you feel that you've let yourself down on then?
I don't know. I've got like a good job. I work for the NHS.
Right.
When it's volunteers doing vaccinations.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
You haven't done so bad.
Parcels, hot meals, cooking hot meals for elderly people.
Right.
So, keep me busy.
You're not doing so bad, man. Hey, but good talking to you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks, Colin.
Good luck with the mould. Thanks for calling. We've got some more mould. Brian says, and Brian seems to be the mould champion. He says, it's a special type of Seal It Bang. It's called Seal It Bang Mould Remover. But scrub and brush, you got to do this thorough, mind, not just play at it. Spray, scrub till you till your elbows squeaky. 0191 488 3188. Thank you very much for that. And you know that any problem like that is going to need a bit of graft, a bit of work to get it sorted. We're off to Sacramento, California, where we find Gordon. Hello, Gordon.
Hi, Alan. Good evening.
Hello, man. It's a name that is not particularly Californian, it has to be said, Gord.
No, I was born in Scotland, Alan, but then my dad brought me on the other side of the wall when I was 3.
So how long have you been out there for then, Gordon?
Oh, I've been out here now, Alan, 12 years. My
Fantastic.
wife's American. So we moved back to sunny California after leaving sunny Cramlington from the 80s, which is where I used to have somebody famous live at the top of the street.
Oh, is that right?
Would be you.
Oh, good heavens. Right. Oh,
I
so
think
you
used to,
on Parkside?
yeah, well, yeah, I was on Tiverton, yeah.
Oh, that's just round the
neck of
corner.
the woods, and you
Yeah,
weren't far away at the time.
That's true. Anyway,
yep.
Happy days. Hey, I hope everything's going well for you. I mean,
remember.
what are you doing over there?
Well, it's funny your topic tonight was about school, because I was just flicking through Facebook and it came up Alan Robson's Night Owls, and I was like, come on, I've never listened to that for like nearly 25, 30 years.
Whoa, right.
So I'm actually working. I used to work over here in school as a school campus supervisor dealing with security, but now I just buy and sell things for the school district, Alan.
Right, gotcha. Hey, have you had a good time over there? I mean, we can't complain with the weather. My goodness.
Oh, it's not. It gets too hot over here, Alan. It's
right.
It gets into the 110s and 105s. It's a bit like England on a good day.
Yeah. The one day a year that it gets to it tweaks and bends the needle at 85. I know what you mean. But over there, it's just the loss of seasons, I would imagine, would be something you noticed.
Yeah, the 2 seasons, Alan. Hot, very hot.
Yeah, right, I can understand it. Hey, no, I bet you got a bonny tan all the same.
Well, yeah. I mean, the last time you saw legs like mine, they were hanging out the nest. But I tend to wear shorts. Most of the time. So.
Tremendous. And I'm just glad you've had a happy life there, man.
Yeah, it's different, Alan. Totally different. I mean, I must admit, in the early days when, I was in Cramlington, it was nice to have somebody famous at the top of the street. But I think you used to have a black Honda with gold writing on the side or something?
Yeah, for a while. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I used to see you walking past my house with your cat on a leash.
Yeah, that's true.
And your cat used to love my garden for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't think there was anything nasty going on. But I did think about getting revenge with the biggest Great Dane I could think of.
I can't ever remember not picking up. Somebody's got, unless he slipped one out that I didn't notice.
No, not at all, Alan. There was nothing in it at all. There was just, I think for some reason, it liked the flowers in the garden.
That sounds right. Hey, great hearing from you, Gordon. Absolutely. Good to hear you back on the patch. Thanks, man. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
But how about that? Sacramento, California. Lovely, lovely. 0191 488 3188. Get your calls in. Got a lot of stuff coming in on the back of the WhatsApp. Don't forget you can send messages through 07863 431 837. And if you want to get on the show, we call you back. If not, we just read out your blah. And here is your blah. Emma says, Sunderland Council have made a big boo-boo when they completed part of the new transport corridor on St. Mary's Boulevard, which means they have to go back into Galleys Gill. Now, this is an old Jewish cemetery. Not all of the remains were removed and reinterred many, many years ago when they remodeled Hilton Road. I must have been a teenager then, and I do remember the cholera pit being disturbed and some of the remains being reinterred at Bishop Wearmouth Cemetery. Galleys Gill is where a young lad called Peter accidentally hung himself while playing. it may be an interesting place for a hunt, along with the old East End, the streets down the High Street East. The Clarendon pub was notably haunted. Not sure what spirits would make of those renovations, as the history of the bar has gone. Such a shame, that kind of stuff. And also, a bit of sad news. Lynn says, Alan, me mum sadly passed away, and she loved you, met you a few times, one in the Nuke South Shields when you opened up a store. I think it's when I had a pub up the mountains in concert. And she's after that Joe Cocker song that I used to play when I was in a different radio station. We can't do that on this one, sadly. And her name's Mary Carson, and it's her funeral on Thursday. And we wish you lots of love, and we wish you well. Hope she gets a good send-off. And this one's just a suggestion that Tony next door should pay attention to. Gents, that's optimistic, but even so, gents, really enjoy watching your Friday YouTube shows. Just wondered if ever you considered going to the ancient woodlands in Whittledean, Ovenjum. My partner and I walk there all the time, and it's beautiful, but honestly, there's a point where you can't hear any birds or wildlife. Like I said, they're ancient woods, so there's bound to be some stories. I already know 2 or 3 stories about Whittledean and the Whittle Witches. And it's said that that's the part of the woods that was cursed forevermore. So there's definitely tales to be told, because we do like a good witch, don't we? We like a good witch. 0191 488 3188. I was so tempted to mention divorce and previous, but I'll leave that alone. 0191 488 3188. Who else is out there in the dark? Look, it's Sue in Washington. Hello, Sue.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, darling. How are you doing?
Oh, well, that's what I've rang up about, really. Yeah, my sister died 4th of November, and we went down on the 3rd, my husband, myself, and the daughter.
Right.
And then they left me there, because I said, no way am I coming back and leaving Mum, by herself.
Right.
So they came back on the 4th. And
Leaving
then
you down there.
Yeah, and the next day, my mum missed the 2 bottom stairs, fell and broke her foot. So yeah, so that was a bit of a nightmare. The ambulance come out and took her into hospital, and she's going, well, she can't be left alone. I says, Mother, I'm going to have to, So anyway, she ended up with a plaster up to her knee, and I was her carer, and I was getting her onto the commode and getting her washed and stuff like that. She had to stay in bed for 2 weeks,
right?
And then she had a new cast on every week when she went to the hospital, and then eventually that went to a boot. Right. And but oh my God, I broke down on the phone to my doctor's surgery because I had to organise my medication to be transferred down there.
Right, for the time you were down there, right?
Yeah, and the girl on the reception, she was so nice, Alan. She never said, "Look, I've got to stop. I've got to answer phones." Blah blah blah. She just let us pour my heart out.
Right.
And because my mum kept saying to me, "Look, you can't do it. You're in agony." I'm going, "I can, Mum, and I will." But it was really hurting us up and down the stairs. That wasn't just looking after my mum. It was looking after the dog and the canary and stuff like that. And but yeah, it's a nightmare. It was a real nightmare. And I never had time to grieve.
Yeah, you were straight into the next trauma, really,
yeah,
weren't you?
It was just like, that and then trauma. But and then my sister, she organised the funeral herself.
Right.
She picked everything. And Peter even said she even made light of that. That's how brave she was. When they was picking the coffin, and she said, "I want one that's rat proof."
Right.
Right. Yeah. So she made light of it, and she she said, you know, I've got cancer. I'm going to die. There's nothing I can do about it. But she was so brave. And honestly, if I can take anything from her, that would be her bravery.
Her
If
strength.
I could do that, yeah.
How
yeah.
are you doing, though? How are you feeling? Has your health improved at all since you get back?
Well, I'm going to see a spinal surgeon on Tuesday.
Right.
So hopefully I'll get some answers there and some sort of treatment. But my head is like, the mental health is all over the place, you know. I just break. Put it this way, we ended up coming home. I mean, I was down there until the 31st of December. I came back then with Bill and Liz, and but we was in the car and I just cried all the way home. It hit us all of a sudden.
Sure.
I'm not going to see Deb anymore. I worry about my mum, and plus it was 18 years from my dad.
Right.
So it just all hit us all at once.
I think what you've got to realise, though, is, and I know family's family, and you love them and they love you back, and sometimes you fall out, as you did with your sissy and what have you. You've got to start worrying about you first, because you've got enough on your plate before you start worrying about other people.
I worry about my mum, though, because she misses Deb so much, you know.
Yeah.
And my brother's down there, but he's at work, and they've got their own lives and that, you know. But, I mean, he wouldn't abandon mum. He's taking her to an appointment tomorrow, you know. But
she'll
she
manage.
misses my sister.
You've got to manage. That's the thing. You've
Oh,
got to manage.
Yeah.
Because you're important. You're important too. You seem to always be putting everybody else ahead of your concerns and your troubles. Get yourself sorted, and then worry about them. But look after yourself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're poorly, or if you're in hospital, or if you need operations and stuff, get them done. Because if you don't, you're not going to be in any state to help anybody, are you?
Well, if they offer me an operation on Tuesday, whatever they're going to do, I'll say yes like that, because I want to be some sort of pain-free. Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, but my mum, honestly, I speak to her for an hour every day, like on the screen. And all we did was make each other laugh, and then we'd feel guilty. We'd just feel guilty because, like, Deb's buried in the ground there. You know, we shouldn't be like this. And
hey, she wouldn't want you to be mothering or miserable either, though. She wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, she wouldn't.
But we speak each day, and then at 3:00 we get the screens on, and then we've got the telly on. We're watching the same program.
Right. You do a bit of goggle boxing, isn't it?
We're watching. It's a program called Lingo.
All right, yeah, like a quizzy thing, kind of thing.
Yeah, they give you the beginning letter of the word, and you have to. So me and my mum, our sense of humours are, we just do rude words. Of course, they never fit in, but you know, and we just do things like that just to make each other laugh and that, you know.
No, we don't stop. That's a lovely thing. That's a
Yeah,
lovely thing.
but I was going to say something else. I've gone now. But my sister was so brave. Like when I do like little things. I mean, I've had my cross stitch, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
It'll come.
And then
it'll all fall back into place, Sue.
It did. I sat for ages looking at my box with all the bits and pieces, and I'm like, oh, can I do it? And I started it the other day, and I sat crying because, well, as I said to my husband, look, I would have been like, oh, I'll show Deb my cross stitch, and she used to show us what she'd been doing as well.
Right, but now you can show your mum, you know, that, hey, nothing stops. Everything goes on. Everything goes on.
I know. It's just rotten. We seem to have the most rotten luck.
Hey.
And then my
if
friend...
you think about this, and I know that you say you've had a lot of bad luck. Your mum had some bad luck. Your sister had some bad luck. And you ended up having to deal with some of it. But other than your health, you've had no bad luck. You've been all right. It's other people that have had the worst luck, if you view it that way. Get yourself sorted out. And just remember that you can't live other people's lives for them. They've got to do
No.
that for themselves, and you've got to look after yourself first.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I try and look after my mum as best I can.
I know you do. I know
And
that.
the conversation to her is like, yeah, that's good. Let's bring the day up, you know. Otherwise, she doesn't speak to anyone, and her little dog's not in good health either.
But again, fix yourself first. Stop stressing about the small stuff. Your mom's situation will sort itself out, and it'll be what it's going to be. Whatever you do and however many times you cry is not going to help, and it's not going to make it better or worse. It's going to be what it's going to be. But things will fall back into place again for you.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little bit of time. It's still fresh. It's still hurting.
Yeah, God, definitely. Yeah. But there was another thing as well. My friend's mother died on the 21st of December.
Right.
She had a lung disease, the one that Katie Price's mother has.
Right.
And she went into hospital to have a little stent put in her heart. And while she was in hospital, she got COVID, and that killed her.
Right.
So we was like, I said, look, when we get sorted and that, you know, and we'll go out and we'll keep each other up.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. All of that will happen. But Sue, look after yourself, darling, and thank you for calling. I'm glad you're turning it around a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling. Good luck at the
doc.
docks as well. Let's hope you get that operation. There's Sue in Weshy. Let's move on to Jarrah. We got Matty there. I think he's on about schools and what have you. Hiya, Matty.
Hi, Alan.
Good, mate. Thank you. So what's your school story then?
Well, I was a bit of a tour rag when I was at school.
I knew plenty of them. What did you get up to then?
I remember, because I'm 34 now, so I left school in 2003. So
right.
It must have been a few years before that. I remember a kid that was on the toilet.
Right.
The door was shut.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of opened the door with a 20 pence piece, and then kind of ran. When the door just flied open, I just remember seeing out the corner of my eye, he just pulled his jumper up over his head. So
that if anybody took a photo of him, nobody'd be able to recognise him. That's brilliant. I would never have thought of that. Tremendous.
So when I came out the front of the school, I knew who the person was in the toilet. And I was just waiting for him to come outside, and he came out looking about left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing if he was looking for anybody looking guilty.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So it wasn't me.
Much. That's tremendous.
But the school I went to Thurston in the Lake District.
Yeah.
And I used to have a habit of picking things up when I was a kid and just throwing it this way and that way.
Right.
Like stones. Like my mom and dad used to say, "Why have you got to pick it up? Why have you got to do that?" And I said, Well, I just got to do it, you know.
Yeah. It's one of them things.
I'm a kid.
Yeah, it's what we do.
So when I was at Thurston with the school, we used to get a reward at a certain time of night. It was at the jetty.
Right.
Where you used to jump off the jetty into the water.
Oh, brilliant. Hey, how cool is that? I was just thinking, the lake, what a place to grow up, the Lake District, mind. That must have been fun, surely, I was going to say.
That was great.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, do you know that Thurston is owned by South Tyneside Council?
I didn't know that at all, no. Wow.
It is.
Why? Why is it on something all the way over there?
That's the question.
Well, we'll see if we can find out. Cheers, Matty. Thanks for coming on anyway. Good to hear from you. Thanks, man. Bye-bye. 0191 488 3188. Now, a bit earlier, we talked about Meatloaf. Obviously, because the sad passing thereof. I got a few scandalous stories about him. Now certainly not the time for them. Instead, we'll just send huge bundles of love to his wife and family and all those that loved him. I love the music of the man, as simple as. And we've had a lot of really cool suggestions. Midnight at the Lost and Found, few people wanting that. And in second place, because you expect Bat Out of Hell, don't you? But I think since it's been the one that everybody's played since he passed, it came in at 5th place. In second place, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I would have probably gone with Paradise by the Dashboard Light. That was in the top 10, but low down. And to my surprise, a one that we had to dig about to find, but a great bit of music. If you're a fan of Meatloaf, he's coming. First of all, he's been in the studio with me 2 or 3 times. Once on the telephone, I was asking him about ghosty ham-nabs. What about ghosts? I gather you did a little bit of talking to the dead for a while. That sounds fascinating.
Yeah, I'm gone ghost hunting on Sci-Fi Channel in the States.
Right.
Oh, I've seen one in this hotel that I'm in right now, the Landmark.
Really? What was it?
In London. Yeah, it was. There's 2 types of hauntings, and I know everybody's going to think I'm nuts, but
Not at all.
But that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, everybody has seen a ghost, whether they know it or not.
Right.
But it was about 6 o'clock in the morning, and he came. I assume he came through the wall because I didn't see him till he was about at the foot of the bed.
Right.
And I said something to him, and he didn't look at me, and he just kept going and went through the wall, which meant that was a residual haunting.
Right.
Which meant that he does that over and over and over again.
Right.
And he wasn't intelligent, because if he'd have been intelligent, he would have
Responded to you.
turned.
Yeah.
He would have done something and looked at me.
Right.
And I remember there's a hotel in Scotland that Bon Jovi and the boys checked out of, and they said to me, "Oh, whatever you do, don't go to this hotel. It's haunted."
Right.
So the first thing I did was tell the room manager, "Put us in this hotel."
I bet.
And I want the room John Bon Jovi was in.
Right.
I think we should go and see Gwen and Ted.
That one's moved though, hasn't it? Well, I thought it just made a noise there before.
Well, you can't reach that because it's too short a cable.
Well, no, I was at the other side of it.
That's what I'm saying. You could, it's too short a cable though.
I was just necromancy at the time.
Are we leaving this camera here?
No, we need to get rid of the back in there.
All right.
I came in and put it in the oven.
So we're taking this with us.
Yeah.
Did you move the position of it?
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
What was up there?
So much.
Well, like I say, we can always come back here. We know there's going to be stuff here. We know there is.
Right.
Oof.
Nice cool.
Freezing.
Is it getting colder or is it just me?
It's getting freezing.
Yeah, I bet he's been out looking. Yes. Can you grab that? I'll have a chat with Rob. Still alive? Result?
Is that there's voices this end as well?
Voices that end too. Voices,
It's like
people moving,
running.
stuff moving in the room, footsteps. No.
I thought Tony was talking to someone in.
There's one person in the building, it's a man, over here.
And we heard a woman.
We heard a woman, we heard footsteps, we heard running, clumping. There's a plug on the floor that moved twice. Ridiculous. What did you get anything?
Well, I came down to tell you that nothing was happening upstairs.
Right.
And I came down the stairs that we went up before we started. And I thought I heard Tony. I wasn't sure if you'd started. And I was at the bottom of the stairs behind the pink door. And I sort of heard a woman just like talking, like very faint, but it sounded like it was coming from back up.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I'll be looking
I
audio.
thought you
will
weren't live yet because I hadn't got the notification.
it's
So I
still
thought,
good.
is Tony sorting something out with the Wi-Fi or something? He's gone upstairs because I could hear people talking. There's a woman. And I thought it was Tony talking to the woman.
It's definitely not a woman in here.
There's not a woman in here.
And we've been long there for since we've come in.
And we've got so much in that room, we just stayed longer and longer and longer.
So I thought we were in there. Now I looked in there. I put my head in the door down there, but I saw the camera was on a tripod. I didn't see any lights and I couldn't hear voices, so I thought, well, we're not in there. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I've gone back to the cars. I didn't want to go back in, but then I went back into the shopping centre and I sort of had a little walk around again on the bottom floor.
Right.
And again, you can hear, like I was videoing bits, I just put my phone on just to record it, and I could hear like a little, like a noise. It wasn't like a door.
But that's great.
But I honestly thought that was you guys. I didn't realise you were way off.
Oh, we've been running for a while, so we're going to just keep rocking on.
Yeah.
Another 15 minutes, but pick a different zone.
Yeah.
And even if you just have to hang on,
Yeah, going downstairs, but
there's mileage in you taking it. How do you feel about him taking the camera and just putting it down everywhere he stops?
What? Well, it's going to be a feed. I'm not going to put it as part of the stream. It's just for extras.
All right.
So it's not going to move it to another.
I think when you go back up, just twist it into a different direction in that same area.
have they definitely said there's no woman?
Yeah, no, it's just, I said that you're going to be here. The woman on the other day said, oh no, I'm not here.
It's one guy with a beard.
One guy.
Security.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was seeing thought it was Tony talking to a woman.
So you're saying Tony sounds like a woman?
It's somehow that I was checking if these had gone live, and I was like, the supporters go, where are they? Where are they?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, it sounds like
Now we're about to kick that off right now.
Yeah. So I thought there was a connection problem when you were trying to get like Wi-Fi or something.
Right, we're going to go live whenever Tony's ready.
I'll get it the link.
Okay, good work.
Might all be like in here.
Well, there's windows and stuff.
Yeah, there.
We've also got to do them.
What the? Sorry,
What was that? Did you kick someone?
I didn't kick anything. It was just a noise from the stair. Oh man.
We're going to have to go up the stairs then at some point.
Really?
We are going to do a beginning.
Oh.
Come on in, Kenny.
Oh man. That was freaky. I'm not sure I'm supposed to even go up here, like. Keys there. What the hell? Weird. It's like a weird plant. For some reason, my heart actually going loads faster in this part. I don't know why. Oh, that's not good behind the door. Is it? Not really. I never touched that and it moved. I never touched that and it moved. It nearly hit me. What the hell was that? Right, something just trying to hit me there. Why? What have I done wrong? Oh! That was in front of us. What the fuck? What the hell? Why do you try and hit me with that?
Night Owls with Alan Robson.
What are we talking about next? You make the call. 0191 488 3188.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Okay, we have 2 clues down, 2 more clues to come. You're going to get your next clue in less than 20 minutes. And then about 50 minutes after that, you get your 4th clue. The last 2 clues, I think, are the absolute giveaways. Not one person has guessed the correct answer yet, not to me anyway. How clever are you with your greatest hits? We'll find out a little bit later on. The first clue, the best fish, meat, fruit, and vegetables are this. The best fish, meat, fruit, and vegetables are this. Second clue, when you make monkey noises, your bath or shower is usually this or freezing. 2 clues down, 2 more to come. We have Mark, who is in Gateshead next. Hello, Mark.
Hey.
Hello, man.
It's a mad show, man.
I am
Right,
good.
I've got like 5 or 6 things to talk about.
Okay.
First of all, I'd just like to say rest in peace, Marvin.
Okay.
Meatloaf, great fan of that. Sad to see him go.
For sure.
Also, on your ghosty things, I have a witch's like cat thing circle that's like 500 meters from my house.
All right.
And all the locals put horseshoes upside down on their front doors to stop evil spirits and things.
Yeah.
I know you're into ghost stuff, so
that's cool.
Yeah, go on, say something.
No, I'm just listening. So you're very close to a place of the witch. What's the story then?
Yeah, it's a circle of big old oak trees.
All right.
It's like just behind my house, like 500 meters away.
Right.
And it's got a big following locally.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get up to that later. I'm just sad about
Meatloaf.
Marvin or
Yeah.
Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Going, and so I'm a bit, I'm a bit pissed as well. But
that's all right. You said you had 5 things. What else do you want to talk about then, Mark?
5 things. No, I have short memory loss.
Right.
I'm a veteran, so I forget things.
Okay.
Well, you ask me a question, I'll answer it.
Well, I will when you're sober. Thanks for calling. 0191 488 3188. If you've got short memory loss and you're pie-eyed, let's just put it that way, we're not going to get anywhere in a hurry. 0191 488 3188. Now, Adam, on the other hand, he has a tale to tell and he's in Gateshead. Hello, Adam. Hello, Adam.
Hi,
Hello. So, what tales
Hi.
you got for us tonight then?
Right. It was about the early 90s, and I was about 12 years old.
Right.
And we're having a PE lesson where we're doing the voting hall.
Oh, yes, uh-huh.
You know the old wooden ones?
Yeah, remember them.
And the school bully, well, the one that used to bully me, tripped us up just as I was doing the voting hall.
Oh.
And I flew through the air and landed on my back with my arms behind my back.
Right.
There was a crack that ran out through the wall hole. And I was sent to the school nurse who had a look at us, but then sent us back to my class.
Right.
And that was the first lesson, so I was sat there all day in complete agony, and she drove us home and told my mum at the end of the day that she thought that my wrists were broken and to take us to the hospital.
So she'd left you there with a broken wrist all day?
Oh, 2 broken wrists. It was better than one.
What?
I couldn't write, I couldn't move, I was crying in pain.
Yeah.
So she drove us home and told me mum that she thought they were broken. So my mum dashed us to the hospital, told the staff what had happened, the nurses and that.
Right.
They didn't believe us because they didn't think a school nurse would do that.
Right.
So she was separated from us, and the social services and the police were called.
What?
For child abuse.
Aye.
And it took them 3 hours to finally get in touch with the school nurse, who admitted that that's what she'd done. And the rest never healed properly. They're okay, but they're not as good as what they should have been if they'd been seen
Right. If they've been looked after properly. Yeah. Can you put weight on them, though? Can you put weight on them or not?
Oh, yeah. I can use them and that. It's just, every so often when the cold gets in,
Oh, you'll feel it. You probably know it's snowing about a week before it snows. Is that how it works for you?
Yeah.
It's a funny thing because if you break a bone, I broke me pinky fingers. Hang on, I don't even say it there, but it's bent in the middle. Me pinky finger, it kind of goes up like that, and I broke it when playing football and didn't go to the hospital. I just put a lolly stick and attached it to the finger next to it for a month or two, and now I can tell it's going to snow, you get like an arthritis pain in the broken bit, if that makes sense. It's probably what you've got now, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
With your wrist. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Right.
Luckily, it was this bullying for years, but crazy enough, we're friends now. He apologized to us a few years back and explained the troubles he was going through with his brother and that. So
right.
He lashed out at me because he was being lashed out by his brother. So we became good friends.
Isn't that weird, though? Because that's the person that made your life a misery when you were at school, and all of a sudden you're pals. That is odd, isn't it? How life goes round and makes those kind of odd friendships.
I like to think that you can forgive. You can forgive almost anything. So.
Yeah, almost. That is true. Hey, good catching up. Thank you for coming on, Adam. Thanks for ringing. Bye-bye. 0191 488 3188. What are you going to talk about tonight? We are waiting to hear from you. Now, we have, I think, an ad break coming up very soon. Very soon. Oh, we got a time to get another call on before that. So I think it's Jean. Let's have a word with her. Hello, Jean. Hello, darling. How are you?
Not so bad now.
Oh, so you sorted everything out since you did you ever get sorted out after that fall?
I'm still really cool.
I know it was, but you've suffered a lot with you.
I know, I'm still bad too with it. I went up to the hospital 23rd of November to get the baptism. And then the 24th, I was down the theatre. The customer got me on. I was singing. So then I came home. I was shook like a leaf. My body was on fire. The kids were tantrums. The shouldn't have done. And the right state.
Right.
Yeah, the good killers. That's stupid either. Stupid done it. Was stupid.
Right.
He was right. I should have pulled down with it.
Yeah.
Hey, God.
You've had your hands full.
Hey, I know. It's stupid stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Have you managed to get out at all?
No, some more. I went by my arm down. And I went by a wheelchair. I've got a walk of it.
Right.
I got a bus. It lands off to the feet. I might be going up. I'm going to do it. When we need us to come in the car bus.
Right.
There's no coming back.
Because you used to get away all over the place to pair you, didn't you?
I know.
Yeah. Right. Not able to do any of that now, Jean?
I don't want to solve it.
Right.
I got around the house and that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Hey, my goodness. Awful, wasn't it? Horrible story. Yeah.
Hey.
Nasty. Strange world we're in, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. Family, Boris Johnson and that. And the party there.
Yeah.
He's a nappy kid.
Yeah. He'll end up coming a cropper. You cannot tell lies as often and as regularly as he does without ultimately losing his job, and he will.
That's what I think. What Prince Andrew and all? He's a bloody silly man.
Yeah.
He's so tough.
Uh-huh.
He's a meta priest. He's on around there. He's not a meta. That's silly. That's how right.
Yeah.
He's stupid man.
Daft.
Ah,
Daft. It's all daft. But as long as you're feeling better, that's the main thing, Jean.
I love Tommy too. I love both of them for that.
Uh-huh.
I love them all.
Right.
Yeah, man. Things happen.
No, it's true.
I'll not forget them all.
No, of course not.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
Yes, Jennifer's fine. Thank you for asking. I know it's all good.
Huh? What is it?
What?
Huh? What? I got your mug to you, you know.
Right.
The stuff to you.
Uh-huh.
Bang it down. We'll bring on Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Saturday, Sunday.
Right. I'm not sure whether we're open Saturday or Sunday, but if you're in during the week, I'm not even sure we've got a reception here at all. Because even there's a buzzer downstairs apparently that you buzz and somebody comes running. That's the thought.
I got your book.
Oh, lovely.
Hey, bloody hell, it's good. He's a bad man, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's a claymore? Is it cool? What's a claymore?
What's a claymore? It's a sword with a handle that you can use to punch people with, because it's made of metal and it's designed to use that as a weapon as well as the actual flat sword.
Hold on, have I not chopped his head, chopped his skull and all?
Yeah.
Have you murdered people?
That's right.
Yeah. And not his. Hey, where's Berwick Castle?
Where's Berwick Castle? If you go to Berwick, you cross a bridge to get on. Do you go by train or do you go by car?
Went by car.
You went by car.
Went by bus. Sorry, went by bus.
If you go by bus, the bus goes across the river. It crosses the river in the place you get out of the bus is right next to a pub. If you
the pub in there.
Yeah, if you walk down back towards the bridge and you take a right-hand turn, the steps that take you right the way down to the river, you walk along the river bank, and Berwick Castle's literally the ruin of it's right on the riverside.
When I go to I walk up to the caravan for a long walk.
Oh, that's right. That's a canny one.
What's that tower?
The tower was just built. It's not a proper tower. It's just built to look like an old-fashioned tower, but it's quite a modern build, I'm afraid. It's not too historic. There is more history there, but you've got to go looking for it a bit. That's the thing.
You're scared. The only you did. You're not afraid, no, you're not.
Nah.
I would. I'll run away.
I know you
I'd
would.
be scared. Have you heard from Linda?
Linda was on a few weeks back, but we'd love to hear from her again. Hey, Jean, must take my leave, but thank you for coming on.
Oh, I'll see you later.
Lovely to catch up. Isn't that nice? There's Jean. 01914 88 3188. Quick break, and we've still got time to get another star who's going to come out at night in about half an hour or so. However, you've got a clue coming other end of this. So let's get some ads taken.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Why are you in here? Are you in here? Are you in here? Do you want to talk to me? Why have you done that? Why do you try and hit me with that? What have I done? I need to get them up here. Let's see. Oh, you need to go up there.
What did you get, Kenny?
Honestly and truly, I nearly got hit with a fluorescent light.
What?
Honestly.
What happened?
You need to go up there. You need to go up there. It's weird feeling. It's only a little room, but it's a weird feeling. Fluorescent light. I was standing there and I was nowhere near it, and it just went and hit us on the back. Honestly, go up and have a look. You need to go up and have a look.
We'll give it a go.
Rob, man, don't do that.
Oh, shoot, it's Rob's arrived. Did you get anything?
There's footsteps, there's shutters shutting right next to us on camera.
Wow.
Opposite Home Bargains, that whatever that shop is, talking out, asking for stuff, and then you like shut it on like that. And I'm in the middle of the alley, so you can't reach out and smash anything.
Brilliant.
Yeah, there's stuff up there. Well,
Have you got a third vista to go and investigate?
Oh yeah, there's like loads up there. There's loads up there.
Do one more, and then we're clear, and then we'll stick together beyond that, okay?
Yeah.
Tremendous. Good man. Right, so anyway, he meets this woman, he's hypnotized by her, he thinks she's the most gorgeous thing he's ever seen. He can't do anything because of this fascination that he has with this woman. Now, at that point, some of Cromwell's followers meet up with Cromwell's son, Richard, who was a young man, teens. And Richard finds this woman who was fascinating his father. He didn't want the family to break up. And more importantly, he was now...
This is the home of Alan Robson's Night Owls.
With the voice of the North.
We promised you another clue to win our drinky thing, our coffee and tea drinky, hot chocolatey. I still have no real clue what its proper name is, but it's a thing. So for you to win one of our legendary things, and there's only a certain number of them, and there will be a collector's item. So get ready. Here's your first 3 clues. Each answer is a greatest hit. You've got to tell me whose hits they happen to be, and don't do that until you get the 4th clue, which will be in about 15 minutes. Clue 1. The best fish, meat, fruit, and vegetables are this. Second clue. When you make monkey noises, your bath or shower is usually this or freezing. Third clue. A club do where men are not allowed. Okay? A club do, or a gig at a club where men are not allowed. Okay? That's 3 clues down, 3 song titles, a 4th song title to come, and that will not be long now. This is fab from Peter in Langley Moor. He says, "Hi, Alan, loving the show. A favour, please. Please wish my wife, Jean, happy birthday. Unfortunately, I am not authorised to disclose her age. Thank you, Peter from Langley Moor." And Jean, happy birthday, lass. I do worry a bit about you because that could be anything from about 24 up to about 104. But as long as you're in that range somewhere, happy birthday. So there you go. 01914 488 3188. Malcolm is with us, and he's in Otterburn. Hello, Malcolm.
Hello.
Hello. What you want to talk about then?
Well, start with a Happy New Year.
Cheers, man.
Right. We're following on to the last couple of callers you've had on about the broken bones.
Yeah.
Right. This is when I was at primary school, way back about less than 9, 10-year-old or somewhere in about there.
Right. Yeah.
I'm in the now the headmaster of the school took us. You had to go swimming.
Right.
At primary school.
Wow.
I broke my arm.
How? Swimming? How'd you break your arm swimming?
Oh, no, it wasn't swimming. I fell off a horse.
Oh, right. What, you water polo? I mean, what would you have a horse in the pool for?
No. But you had to go swimming, and then you were with this But I had this broken arm.
Right, okay.
What did the headmaster do? He pushed us in the pool.
Oh, that's not good. Because you'd have to go and get your plaster all changed.
Aye, exactly.
Oh, what a clot. What a clot.
I think I ended up at Hexham Hospital getting the plaster changed.
I could believe that. I could absolutely believe it. What a carry on. So do you like school and did you hate it or what's the crack, man?
I've never liked swimming in my life.
No, I bet. I still can't swim to this day. I was up the
I'm a bit like you.
I was always up the shallow end with a big lump of polystyrene.
That's about it. I couldn't swim, pal.
Absolutely. And you'd pretend to swim by keeping one foot on the floor, but the other foot was behind you. That's what I remember doing a lot of.
It was a local pool just not far out of Otterburn, and he ended up pushing us in the water.
Yeah.
The headmaster.
Unbelievable.
So hold a minute. So I had to go and get the plaster changed. And
so did you get a badge for your swimming trunks? The panic award.
Did I, Nick?
I was going to say. Because I remember in our school, they used to have to hire you in with your pajamas on, and you had to be able to swim out your pajamas and get back to the side of the pool before you died. And I still cannot swim. And it was like, how many times can I go to the surface and then go under the water before somebody's going to come and realize that the ginger kid can't swim? It was awkward. Anything else you want to talk about then, Malcolm?
Well, no, that explained the start of my diabetes, like, so never mind.
Is that what? How?
Well, because I broke my arm and then they found out I was diabetic.
Right. Oh, I just don't understand how breaking your arm is linked.
I've had more broken bones in my body than no else.
Is that right? What a carry on. Nasty
No,
stuff.
this was the arm.
Right.
Probably the very first one I broke.
Right, and then you started breaking everything.
I've broken my leg. I've had a few broken bones.
Right. What a carry on.
But it was a local swimming pool, private swimming pool, and just near Otterburn, and the headmaster pushed us in.
Gotcha. Got the story. Thanks a lot, Malcolm. All the best to you. Now, a little bit earlier on, we told you that DJ John had been rushed into hospital. So we've got Paul on, who's DJ John's sidekick in New Biggin. Hello, Paul.
Good morning, Alan.
Hello, mate. So what's happened to him?
DJ Paul in the mix.
Gotcha. So, I mean, what's happened to DJ John then?
Okay, I understand that a lot of your listeners has been concerned about DJ John having seen posts on social media.
That's right.
Right. To put the record straight, DJ John did get rushed into hospital midweek.
Right.
And it turns out I'm in close contact with John because when he had his moment of fame back in 2015, I found myself becoming his PA overnight.
Oh, right.
And taking him to all his appearances for the great charity work that he does.
Yes, he's amazing.
Okay, right. So he got rushed into hospital and it was life-threatening.
Right. Do you know what it was? What exactly was it?
Yes. I'm in constant contact with John on a daily basis.
Right, but what was it that he was rushed in with? Because somebody suggested it was a heart attack.
It was a suspected heart attack at first, but when they got him to hospital, we carried out CT scans on him and everything, and discovered that he had a hole in his bowel. And I had to do emergency surgery.
Oh, blimey, that's not what you want, is it?
Not really, no. Turns out it was an ulcer or something.
Right. Oh, blame. So did they stitch up the hole? Did they darn it or whatever they do?
Well, he was telling us, like, kind of in graphic detail what they were pumping all this black stuff out of him.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because I think he mentioned Paranitis was about to set in.
Paranitis, blame, you could have killed him.
That's right, yeah.
Right. Oh, so, any news on when he's coming out?
Well, as I said, I've been speaking to John on a daily basis,
right.
And he's overwhelmed with all the well wishers.
Good.
And he sends his love to everyone.
Right.
He's making good progress. He's up and about, sitting in a chair, eating jelly and ice cream. And the nurses on the ward where he is are talking about going on the sick.
Right.
Not because of COVID, Alan, because of John and his jokes.
Right, yeah. No, I could understand that.
They're pulling their hair out.
There'll be no holding them in there, that's for sure. And there's no escape if you're working on the wall.
He's back to his usual self.
Right.
And hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll be out Tuesday or Wednesday this week.
That's good news. Give him me love then, DJ Paul, if you will.
Alan.
In the mix.
Yeah. How can I put this? When you lived in Cramlington and you had a housewarming party, you remember?
Do I remember having a housewarming party? I don't
chip
actually.
Pan fire.
Oh, I remember having a chip pan fire. It wasn't anything to do with that. It was a house. I see where you're going. Right. It warmed the house, not in the way that I wanted warming, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nice one.
And when you done the Easter egg run,
yes,
I've done the PA for you.
Oh,
when
good on you. I remember. Hey, well done, you, Paul. Thanks.
When you were on that trike.
Yeah.
On the back of the trike.
It was cool. Had a good day. Raised a lot of money, which was good stuff. Hey, good talking to you, Paul. Love to DJ, John. Thanks for coming on.
No problem. You're welcome. I hope I've cleared that up for everyone.
You have. Thanks very much indeed. 01914 488 3188. And I'm thinking housewarming. I didn't have housewarming there because it was just a tiny little house, little 2-bedroom bungalow. 01914 488 3188. And I could only got about 4 people in there, standing side by side. 01914 488 3188. Get your calls in. We are tantalizingly close to the 4th clue. A couple of people have worked it out already. If you haven't yet, get your thinking cap on. Chris next door, have you sorted it? Nice. No way. Oh, here we go. What's It competition is a non-spill Night Owls Cup with a Night Owls logo on it. It's up on the screen if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube. And if you're listening on the radio, it looks kenny good. 0191 488 3188. And here's Alison. She's back on from Anfield playing. Hello, Alison.
Hi, Alan. How are you doing?
I'm good, Darren. Thank you for asking. What you got for us tonight, then?
Well, I just thought I'd come on and tell you about school.
Oh, okay.
Seeing as everybody was listening on about school.
Yeah.
One of the things that was like really, really bad for me that's kind of tainted my whole life is when I was 11, we went to France
on
a school trip.
How
and they
posh
made me
were you?
go.
Posh?
It was it
What?
was the only school trip we had.
What? Let's go to France. I remember my school trip was Bladenburn. This is from the West End of Newcastle. Bladenburn in your wellies, picking up old bicycle frames out of a mucky stream. That was my day trip. You're off to France?
Yes, but if you had gone to the France that we went to, like the place and the experience with school, you might never then have gone all around the world on.
Explain.
That was the one and only time I've been out of the country.
What?
I've never been out since.
No. So what? Now you say I happen to love France, and I'm one of the few people that actually love the French because I think they're really funny. But what was wrong with your France then?
Well, I've got nothing against the place or against the people.
Right.
It was just the whole experience of being at school, really, and kind of
Right.
what they put us through and the way they did everything. It's like we went camping.
Right.
So basically, the trip there was horrific. I got on the ferry and threw up the whole time. So I was no good on the ferry.
Right.
Got over there, and they showed us these tents we were going to be staying in, which were just like we'd been camping. I used to go camping as a kid. We used to go camping all the time, but this was like the basic of the basic.
Right.
Like they were. Oh, the thoughts of it's making me go all funny already. But then when they kind of introduced us to our tents and obviously our like things that you lay on the floor on that weren't even remarkably like beds.
Yeah.
They then said, right, we'll show you the toilets and the showers.
Oh, yeah.
So we all got together and thought, right, come on then, let's go to the toilets. Walked over to the toilet block and they'd forgot to put the doors on.
Oh.
They had these
that's not
doors
good.
that, like,
Right.
basically, it was a hole in the ground
Right.
and the door only covered the middle bit of you. So you could have a nice chat with your friends over the top and they could see your feet underneath and also see what you were doing.
Yeah, because if you dropped a bomb, so to speak, they would
Yeah.
see it fall from between your legs.
Yes.
Oh, that's not there's no way that's an attractive conversation. And also, mind you, I'm sorry, but I'm very private when it comes to my ablutions. And this
Me too.
this whole idea, I don't even like it if very occasionally in Britain you used to get, not so much now, but you used to get saloon doors on a toilet. And
Yeah.
there was always a gap at the top, a gap at the bottom, and a little gap in between. So if you position yourself right, you can see everything in there. And you were watching people walking by and talking to somebody and then hearing all the plop noise. No, that's just,
Well,
no.
it's more like if you imagine the position that you have to squat in to make sure that you hit a hole that's probably about the size of, well, smaller than a tea plate.
Yeah, that's not easy. So
And
if you were
somebody's
honking
looking at your
down,
face,
but if you were honking down, everybody'd see your undercarriage, so to speak.
yeah, where they could see your feet. So they like it was down, so it was probably about a good, 18 inches off the floor that you could see like underneath. But the top bit, if you stood up straight,
Oh, you could see
it
everybody.
only was up to like your chest.
Yeah.
So
I hear
when
that.
you were squatting, you could speak to. So that was like our first introduction to the toilet. So
Oh.
that was me like, well, that's me not going to the toilet for the
No,
full
that's-
time we're away.
That's constipation week kicking in already.
Yeah,
I could say
11
that.
days.
Ooh, that'd be like
11
being
days
egg
worth of-
bound after that length of time.
Well, they used to take us to this one place on night time to have our meal, and it was like, I would imagine, like back then, I'd never been to a pub or anything like that, so I didn't know what it. So it was more like a cafe than a pub,
Right.
but it had one toilet. And if you imagine all like 30 of us that were there,
All
waited
one.
and
Yeah, I was
waited
gonna
one,
say.
that one, and it was the most disgusting, horrible toilet, but it
Right.
had a door.
Yeah, but you'd wait for that, and you'd say, "Is anybody? Oh, hang on, she's just come out." But that would mean that the seat never got cold
No,
because everybody's.
it was awful.
I can't imagine. I've had a few. As I say, I love France. Been lucky enough to I worked there for a little while, and I've got a lot of time for them because once you get past the BS at the beginning, that they all seem to be incredibly superior, and they don't want to tell you. Once you get past that, because they're just waiting for you to try. They don't want you to come over and be all English. They want you to have a stab at the language. And if you have a stab at the language, they give you a batch more respect, which is lovely. But they had these things in the street toilets, to see if you're having to look for a gents. Now, not for ladies, just for blokes, because you women can hold it like camels.
Yeah.
It's true. Look at you with the constipation. It's proof of the pudding. But men, there's a toilet in the street. And I asked this guy, I says, where are the public toilets? And he says, you're standing right next to one. That's one there. And lovely. So you walk in, and it's kind of like a maze. You walk in, because there's no door on it. You walk in, and it's a circle. And as soon as people can't see past the alley leading in, there's little metal urinals with tiny little screens at the side that continue to go around in a complete circle in the middle. Now, the thing is, if you've got one of the first 9 of these little, there's probably about 15 in total. If you get any on the first 9, you are staring, because they only come up to your nipples, you are staring, depending how tall, if you're very, very small, you can probably get away with it. But if you're any kind of height over 5 foot, you're staring in the face of people walking along the street while you're weeing. And
not like trying to put you off.
I'm not a hugely shy person, as you can probably tell, but when I went in, that was one that was open. It was about the second one in, directly in front, within a foot of where I was standing, on the other side, obviously, of this pissoir. It's not a great name. I was faced with 3 girls talking, chatting, a foot away, and I'm looking at 2 of their faces, and they're talking to their friend, but every now and then I'm facing them, so their eyes met my eyes, and every time they did, suddenly the tap went off, and it was like, oh, come on. Well, she stopped looking. Oh, it was.
Can you
just,
imagine if they recognised you?
Oh no! Could you? Alan, will you sign this? Hang on a second. I got my hands full. No, it doesn't bear thing. No, the whole thing was just awful. And there was another toilet that I stayed in further south in France, which was exactly what you said. It was a hole in the middle of the floor, but this one had 2 handles. Did yours have handles by any chance?
I can't remember. When we were talking about this with a few of the people who I went with, I couldn't remember the handles.
But there was 2 handles on a wall, and the idea is they're about waist height, so that you put your feet down, you get hold of the handles, then you lean your bum back, and you've got to try it. It's a bit like Barnes Wallace and his bouncing bum. You lean back and you just try and get your sights. And the thing is, you're supposed to have like a tap, so that after you've deposited, hopefully with a 180, but then you put the tap on, and it's supposed to wash anything down the thing, and there's supposed to be a brush if there's any bits left. Or it's the whole thing is, I don't want to go there. That's the whole thing, is I don't want to, because you don't want to. Who wants? My poo's lying in a heap. Now what do? You get this and you do. No. In the water, flush it.
People watching.
No.
Set your bum on a seat. You don't want people to see you.
No, and what you also don't want is the next person walking in, and there's proof of your. No. You don't want. And the smell and that. Oh no, the whole thing is because it just went in a hole.
Can you imagine why I didn't have?
No, I absolutely
the country again.
Totally understand. Mind you, can I just tell you, the rest of the world does have proper toilets now.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you that.
I've been told that. and I was just getting to the point where I was thinking, I fancy maybe going abroad, and then this hit.
Yeah, no. Where are you thinking of going? Because truthfully, I think one of the great joys in the world is just meeting different people and going to a place that you never thought in your life you'd ever be there at. That's where would you like to go?
I know it sounds really sweet. I'd love to go to like Holland and places like that.
Right.
Because like when I've seen pictures and photographs and stuff like that, I love like nature and fields and greenery, and it just looks so idyllic. And I would love to go to Iceland for the Northern Lights.
Yeah, we see all good stuff, but it all does involve you traveling. And at the present moment, it's a bitch, quite frankly, for anybody. And I know people are saying, "Oh, it's all opened up now." They're still asking you to take a test of this and pay for a test of that. And I think most people And I know a lot of folk are desperate to get away, but most people are waiting just to see how the land lies once all this goes to bed. And it will at some point.
I think as well it's that fear of getting away and then like kind of either catching it or being stuck somewhere in another country and living by their rules if anything happens. I think for me personally, things would have to be a lot more settled.
I think a lot of people feel that way too, which is why British staycation types, B&Bs and all of that are doing pretty well.
We've got so many nice places, and that's what I'm like in the UK, because holidays hasn't really been a big thing, but if I did travel around, I would just love to visit everywhere in the UK.
Yeah.
All the places that kind of...
Plenty to see.
Yeah, like up around the top of Scotland and things like that.
Amazing.
All the islands around Scotland, when you see all them, it's like, that would be just... I'd love a camper van and just head off.
The place you want to try, and there's you can go on a ferry across to the Western Isles of Scotland, and that was the place where we did a week of shows of night owls from the Western Isles. We were based in a place called Stornoway, and I'd never even considered going to this place before, but they were pushing it and advertising it, so we rang them and said, "Can we come?" And they said, "Yeah, it was a great idea."
Yeah.
So we headed over. And they took us to this one beach. It was April, because it was chilly, I remember. It was April, and there was snow on the mainland, and I was here on this island not far from the coast, and I, with my phone, videoed like a 360, like you spin around. And I posted it and I said, "Where on earth am I?" And everybody went, "Hawaii. Are you in Barbados? Are you in?" And it was that beautiful. And there wasn't a soul. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. The temperature was about 65, which for April is pretty damn good. And you could have been on any of the most beautiful beaches anywhere in the world. And there's a whole batch of them. And because it's a little tiny island, there's like tiny roads going through complete wilderness. Gorgeous looking place.
Yeah, that sounds like my perfect place.
Yeah,
it's not so much meeting different people. I think it's seeing different things.
Yeah, nice.
And it's like Ireland. I would love to go. I've been over to Ireland once, but to tour Ireland.
Yeah, nice.
Because there's just some beautiful places that are right close to home, aren't there?
And also, first of all, depending which airport you fly from, you could be as close as 40 minutes away. It's easier for you to get over there than it is to get from one side of the patch to the other side of the patch.
Yeah, my hubby when he worked for Audi, he was responsible for Belfast.
There you go.
And he used to just fly across and for the day and then fly back again.
You can absolutely do that. But no, Ireland's a joy. And the people are individual, which is great. Different, fun, up for it. Music everywhere you go. That's a nice trip, always Ireland as well. Hey, I think we're all just lusting for anything other than the square room we're in.
Yeah, dreaming of the countryside.
We've been locked up too long. Let us out. We're nearly there. We're nearly there, Alison. Nearly there, love.
Yes, I think things are changing.
Yeah, I think
really
so too.
I've watched a live today that came from America. One of my friends posted it, and it's all the different kind of viewpoints, and it was just really interesting how things are starting to change and how things are starting to open up, and I think things are going to fall apart to fall back together again soon.
I think you've been in good shape there, because I absolutely agree. Thank you for coming on, Alison. Lovely to hear from you.
Okay, speak to you soon, Alan.
Take care, bye-bye. I think she's right. 0191 488 3188. Let's go to Dunstan, where we find Stephen, and he is on the tip of school. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Alan. Good morning.
Morning, mate. What can we do for you?
Right, I've got 3 or 4 things for you.
Good.
Alison basically reminded me of back in 1982. She went to France, and I'm not bragging here, but your man, in his stupidity, paid for me to go on a school cruise.
Wow.
We went to Amsterdam, Hamburg, Gdansk, Helsinki, and somewhere else that I can't remember.
Right.
But the cruise was actually cut short because of the Falklands War. Because the boat we were on was seconded as a hospital ship.
Give over. That's amazing.
We were cut short, and on the way back to Tilbury,
right,
a little boat pulled up alongside, and John Craven got on board.
What? How random! So he was doing a feature for Newsround about how they were doing this thing for the. They're going to take the ship down as a hospital ship. Oh.
Yeah,
so how far did you get then? I mean, how many places did you end up seeing, Stephen?
We only missed out Gdansk.
All right.
But,
hey,
but
out of all of the names, that's probably the one you could have said. Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking forward to going to Gdansk actually because it was one of the places I'd done research on before we went.
All right. Yeah.
But Hamburg and Helsinki were absolutely glorious. Yeah, but I remember Amsterdam being the best because at 13, 14-year-old, we were running around the red light district like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, when they named the place, it was obviously a male teacher who made the decision. Hamburg with a Reeperbahn, one of the biggest red light districts.
We did that as well, yeah.
You got the Amsterdam one, which is a massive red light district. I can just imagine this teacher saying, "No, I'm really sorry. Just talking to the wife before he leaves. I can't believe where they're sending us here." And he's probably worked the whole thing out himself.
The headmistress was there, Alan, the drama teacher, the cookery teacher, and about 2 others. There was 5 teachers and 55 kids. And honestly, we ran them ragged.
I could imagine. But if this is your first, your first taste of the world, essentially, because school trips are supposed to show you, the kind of life that you don't have at home. If you're a city school, they take you out in the country and such. And here, your first look at the rest of the world. The world's full of prostitutes, by the way. When you came home, surely.
Oh yeah. Oh, honestly, Alan, it was great fun. We got into some stuff while we were out there. A couple of lads bought magazines they shouldn't have done and had them confiscated on the boat on the way back. But that's a different story altogether for a different night.
I'm just picturing you and your mates saying, "How much money you got? Pocket money?" No, we're still going to do that. Doesn't matter how much we put it together. We're not going to make it.
I was given £300 spending money, which back in 1982 was a lot of money.
That's a fortune, man. Yeah, absolutely.
And I got seasick on the way to the first port, and all I could stomach was jelly babies, and I ate jelly babies for 3 days solid, and I've never eaten them since. I can't stand them now.
I wonder what it was about the jelly baby that just kind of stuck when everything else was.
Just the sugar, I think.
Yeah, maybe so.
The little flowery coating that they used to have.
I know.
I don't know if they still have or not, but
they do.
I haven't had them for a long, long time now.
I tell you.
But it was the the SS Uganda we were on.
Right.
And like I say, it was commandeered as a hospital ship for the Falklands once it kicked off.
Absolutely amazing. What a great story.
But prior to that, we were talking about broken bones earlier on this evening.
Yes.
And from the age of about 6 to being about 9 or 10, I've lost count of the amount of broken bones and legs I've had.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, one specific one, which I'm still suffering from today, and I'm 54 now, was where I was at the ice cream van one night, and one of the local lads pinched the money I had. It was a £1 note or something,
right,
for buying ice cream, and he ran round the back of the ice cream van, which was parked in a lay-by on the estate where we were. So I ran out after him, and I slipped, and my body went underneath it. The top of my body went underneath the ice cream van. My bottom of my body, my legs, were in the middle of the road. And do you remember what a VW camper van looks like, Alan?
Yes, of course. Lovely looking machine.
One of those did both my kneecaps above and below.
Oh.
Did my legs both above and below the kneecap. And apparently my mother heard the scream, and she knew it was me from the other side of the estate where we lived.
God, imagine what that would feel like. Did they smash both your knees?
Both of my knees, yeah. And they took me to the QE, and they set both my knees wrong. And now today, I can't put any weight on either of my legs. and I'm on my way to being a cripple, totally a cripple, because every year it gets worse and worse and worse. And the DWP, the buggers, don't believe me, even though I've had numerous examinations for sick money and everything else. And they don't yet. I mean, I was on ESA for a long time, up until 2017, and then I got a call one Saturday out of the blue, me thinking it was a joke, telling me, "Oh, you're fit for work again. We're stopping your DWP money."
Madness.
You know?
I mean, hell's teeth. I can't imagine that kind of pain, because your knees obviously carry all of your weight all of the time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
And I'm a big lad. I'm a big lad as it is, so I've got a bit extra to carry around.
Right.
You know. But honestly, like you said before, with your finger, I can tell when it's going to snow about a fortnight before it happens.
Absolutely.
Because my knees get absolutely racked with pain.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the minute I'm on Tramadol, 3 tablets a day, 3 times per day.
And that must be ruining your system, though, as well, because that's strong stuff.
Alan, it doesn't even cut through the pain. The pain I'm in all 24/7, it doesn't even cut it. I am constantly in pain, even when I take the Tramadol. If I take 4, I'm away with the fairies. But if I take 3, it cuts the pain a bit, but I can still feel it.
That's just plain wrong.
And the next thing up is Oromorph, which is liquid morphine.
I don't want to go there if you can avoid it.
The doctor won't give us that because I've got a heart condition and various things wrong with it. So I can't have that.
Nasty.
But it's just honestly, it's just unbelievable. But as I say, I must have broke both my arms 4 times and both my legs at least 5 times. My jacket at the QB hospital is about 9 inches thick.
I can believe it.
That's just broken bones, and then I've got everything else that's wrong with this on top of that as well. But honestly, it's unbelievable. It's just I hate it because I can't do anything about it. And I went back to the QA when I was 25, try and get it sorted. They said, "Oh yeah, we can sort your knees out, but we'll have to break both your legs again to do it." And I went, "No, you're all right."
Yeah. It's when they do that. I broke my nose once, and not long after that, there's a thing that can happen to you called a displaced septum. It's that little bit in between your nostrils. You know, the all the way up your nose. That's your septum, and I'd broken my nose not long before, and after that, being a rambunctious young lad, end up getting into a fight, and the septum gets displaced. And I remember my nose was up like Fred Flintstone's, you know, big kind of cartoon nose. And they said, "Oh, we can't do anything about fixing it yet, but you've displaced your septum, which is like a breakage of the bone in the middle, but we can sort that for you. Come back when the swelling's gone down in about a week to 10 days. So 14 days later, I walk back in, explain what happened. They look, "Oh, your septum's displaced. I'll just put it back in place." And they went to the cupboard and they got a pair of what I can only describe as really pointy pliers.
Yes, big tongs.
Tongs. And they said, "We're going to put this up your nose and just jerk it back into place." Now my nose was already still hurting from previously, and I went, "Hang on a second." And I went, "Right, I can breathe. I don't have any issue breathing. If you didn't do that, would I have any problems with my nose?" And he looked up and he said, "I don't think so." I went, "Bye." straight out the door. What are you doing?
I don't blame you.
If it's not necessary, walk away. Walk away every time.
It's just, honestly, that I mean, I've seen the septum thing before on my cousin, because my cousin had his nose broken twice in the space of about 3 months.
Yeah,
and they did the prongs up the nostrils. Oh,
I know.
No, thank you.
No, I think so. Anything else then before you disappear, Stephen?
Yes.
What's that?
Just 2 more things.
Okay.
First one, I watched the night I was Halloween 2020 special the other day on YouTube.
Oh, good.
And I clocked a few people, obviously, that are still calling, Alison being one of them.
Yeah.
And I thought it was brilliant.
Oh, that's good.
It was absolutely brilliant. And if you ever get up to the north of Scotland, I can't remember exactly where it is now,
right.
but there's a little place just outside Fraserburgh
right.
That's renowned for being haunted.
All right.
So I've got family lives up there, and they keep on sending. When my father was alive, they kept on sending little pamphlets and books to visit this castle.
All right.
Up that way. Okay. And honestly, Alan, some of the stories we heard were unbelievable. You just wouldn't go anywhere near it if you were sane, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Which means that you probably would.
No, we probably would. Absolutely, it's right up our street. Anything else, then, Steve?
Just one final thing, Alan.
Yes,
just to say hello and thank you to all the YouTube owls, because those guys are an amazing bunch of idiots. They're absolutely brilliant people, and you know they are relentless in their fandom for you and the show.
Well, thank you very much.
And the backroom staff.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Stephen. Great talking to you.
More than welcome, Alan.
Take care.
Have
Bye-bye.
a good night. What's left of it. Bye-bye for now.
For sure we will. We have a fourth clue. Clue number 1, the best fish, meat, fruit and vegetables are this. Second clue, when you make monkey noises, your bath or your shower is usually this or freezing. Third clue, a club where men are not allowed. A club do, a gig where men are not allowed. And the fourth clue, a small town in Florida, or what people do for birthdays, weddings, engagements. They usually hold a what? Okay, a small town in Florida, or what people do for birthdays, weddings, engagements. They hold a what? Chris next door has just told me the answer, so if he knows it, blimey, you'll all know it. 0191 488 3188 for our What's It competition. Non-Spill Night Owls Cup. If you want it, it's on screen at the present moment, and you can win the very thing. If you're listening on radio, you can win this fabulous thing. It just keeps everything warm. It's one of those that keep them warm or keep them cool, depending on what's in it. 0191 488 3188. Piece of music, but first, George Benson. What was his worst pain ever? What's the worst thing that's ever happened to your body, George? Accidents, operations? How bad has it been for you, man?
Well, when I was 14 years old, a policeman shot me in my head.
What?
Yeah. There was a gang fight going on. And we ran in every direction we could think. And I kept hearing these shots go off. You know, I'm thinking, they're not shooting at us. And I turned around and sure enough, boom, it hit me in my forehead and knocked me down. I spun around on the ground. He thought he had killed me. He said, where did I hit you? I said, you didn't hit me, because I didn't think he was aiming at me. I thought I tripped over something, you know. And he said, no, I hit you. And he looked in my chest and he couldn't find a hole. So he said, oh, there it is. And the top of my head, sure enough, there was a gash in my head.
Right.
The bullet had just creased my skull. So I'm very, very fortunate to be alive today.
Absolutely.
And cherish every moment.
Have you got any rational or irrational fears?
No. I know the world. The world is crazy. The devil is running it, so can't be nothing else but crazy.
Right, that's fair. Ever seen a ghost or had a strange spooky experience in your time?
I've had all of those things since I know who's producing them. I stay with the scriptures.
Right.
If you're gonna fight something, you got to fight fire with fire.
Right.
And if you're fighting spirit creatures, you got to go to another spirit creature. So the ones I'm going to in the scriptures, starting with God's Son Jesus Christ, can't lose. I hang with that because I know that's a no-brainer there.
Father to be removed from great Lord Protector of all England. So he strangled this poor Stockton woman, and they buried her beneath the barn that was attached to the castle at the time. And the rhyme about him, old Noll, being so pious that he demolishes the castle. He sold all but the barn. And a lot of people think he didn't sell the barn because the body of the woman
that he'd fallen for was buried beneath the barn. He told the church to sell all the stone. They sold it off to churches and houses and various things around the place. But the barn was never touched. It's believed that the ghost of the young girl is one of the spirits that haunts the place where we're in now. Right, let's go. Are we getting the iPad out as well?
Oh, yeah, we've got the iPad.
Yeah.
But the SLS come out to do
Because
it.
I think we'll pick stuff up in here, because it's just...
I think in here, and also we've got to go.
You've got to go up downstairs, mind. You've got to go in that room where I've just...
No, let's go there now.
The fluorescent light just went... It just went... And nearly hit me. And it sort of hit me back and then nearly hit me head.
Well, we've had two things in there already, so...
It seems to be this area, doesn't it? This part here.
Well, I feel that this is fairly benign.
This here.
I've had the odd noise.
Yeah.
But that's it. There are a few places before.
It's different altogether than that room upstairs, mind. Oh, straight away, the hairs on me back of my neck are going up, man. As soon as I go here. Honestly, I'll go up first, right, just so you know. But be careful for this here, because it's tight.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tony will be able to get up, like. It's only a small room, but the atmosphere up here is so different. There's the thing that nearly hit us. That there. You see it? You see that there? That there nearly hit me.
Really?
Really. That there just...
What was that noise? Did you hear that?
Why is there a plant?
What's behind you?
There's a plant pot thing.
Gonna try and get up here if you can, Tony.
But honestly, I was standing here, and that there, it just nearly hit. That there, it came down from wherever it came from, and just hit me back and sort of landed there. So that light, and I'm saying, why you done that to me? You know what have I done? So that was that.
What was what? It was just here. Something moved just here.
Did you hear that as well? Yeah. Like a scrape
Yeah,
of
like
a
a
foot.
scrape.
Yeah. Why is this little room like this? 999. I think we might need that. Emergency, all right.
Look at this. How weird is this as well? What is that?
Oh my God. This room is just like not right. I don't know why. Why should it be this room?
It's freezing in here.
It is. It's different feeling altogether from downstairs. But I was just standing there and that just went. And I was I was like here. Because I was looking around here to see what was here and then it is on the back.
What is around here? It's just ridiculous.
No idea. Well, coat hanger there. Why is there a coat hanger hanging there? Like that? Look. Weird.
Nah, it's just a wooden floor.
Yeah.
Come on, let's move on.
But weird though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just you've got to hold the one thing I don't want to do. Oh, that could have been you. No, that could have been you. That's just that.
Did I trip on something there?
It's like a wooden block and I think it's that there. Yeah, it's like a wooden block and a bag.
Jesus
It
Christ.
just hit the cat.
Jesus Christ. Honestly.
It still doesn't explain how there was two noises from up here before we got up here.
And why that thing it is.
Oh, these stairs are here.
Yeah. It is weird up there, mind. Oh, man. I think we should take Gwen and Ted across there. Where we were, where we got all that stuff before.
I think so too. Right, so I've just got to split the screen now. Split the screen, yeah, and then we've got 1,000 more stories about things that
It's all the time.
I heard voices there.
It's in here as well now.
We're gonna have to. Oh, did you hear that? Something like dragging across the floor.
Yeah.
Like somebody got hold of one of those cardboard sheets and just pulled it across the floor. We're starting to get into our next bit, and that's it for us. We are heading outside. We've got a bit to show you, and then we're going into the second area that we've not even scratched the surface of. This place is dynamite, and we would love you to stay with us. Tony, how do they do that?
Yeah, if you're on Facebook, just hit the link in the video description, and then part 2 will be there for you. Same with YouTube, it's in the video description. Just click that, join the channels, and part 2 will be visible.
We would love you to join and
Be careful,
support us.
because there's something in that corner as well. There's noises from that corner before, so be careful. That was me. That was me.
So please join us if you can. We're getting a bit, that thing there is freaky.
It's
There's a
dark up in here.
freakier place that we have to show you.
The voice of the North.
Alan Robson's Night Owls, the phone-in that gets you talking.
Okay, you haven't got long to get that answer in for the competition. We haven't got long, but we do have time to get Richard on from North Shields. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Alan. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. So I gather you've got a meatloafy kind of story.
Well, sort of. Right, Alan, me and you know each other from a long time ago.
Right. Yeah.
When I was DJing in the town, and I used to do the town, the coast, and everywhere else.
Right.
And I had a residency down in, do you remember the old Bay Hotel in Colour Court?
I do, yes, of course.
Cracking place, Joe Henry's place. I remember.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was great. Sunday going. But Lorraine used to get in all the time. Whenever she was home, she was always in the Bay. If she was gigging, she always ended the night in the Bay with a couple. I mean, Chaz Chandler and everybody used to come in the Bay for a quiet drink.
Right, yeah.
And you know what the game's like. When you're DJing, you get a load of promos, you get a load of white label stuff and everything else.
Yeah.
And they'd only just released I'll Do Anything for Love.
Right.
And I already had a copy of the record, but the dance version. So
Right.
I showed it to Lorraine, let her listen to it a few times. She took it away, gave us back a couple of weeks later and says, "Oh, Jim Steinman loves it." So she played my record to Jim Steinman, so I was well chuffed with that, mate.
That's fantastic. What a
It is. But I remember Lorraine, you remember Lorraine doing the clubs, and
absolutely.
You can remember the good old names like the Zoots Navarro and Linda Wright and everybody doing the bars and the clubs.
Absolutely.
Good times in Newcastle then.
Yeah, there were. Hey, different scene altogether as well. Say again?
I had hair then.
Yeah. You just worked your way through it, did you?
Yeah, I think I've overdosed on wash and go, I think. And I'm not finishing that joke up either. Yes. I mean, we're both, I did the town and the coast till about what? I was even doing bits in the town a couple of years ago, but
right.
Yeah, we're getting on, mate. We're getting on. You're still there, son.
Hey, just nothing should stop you. As long as you still got it in your heart, you whack on, man. No worries.
Well, there's all these Facebook groups with all the old jocks on and the old names we both know, especially around the northeast.
Yeah.
And someone you just never heard, you know, bloody hell, are you still alive, son? It's like, well, I did that with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll tell you what, another thing, it doesn't got nothing to do with Lorraine or the bands. I remember years ago, somebody played me a tape of somebody called Robson. And he was doing a stand-up comedy act. Can you remember it all?
I can, I'm afraid.
Yes, and the only thing that sticks in my head was the end of one joke where I think he ended up in court for being a little bit of a bad lad, and you said, "Someone can have the money back to the judge." But I remember you doing it. And I know the lad has got it, and if he's still got it, I'm going to make sure we all get copies.
Oh, hell's bells. Might be best left alone, those kind of things.
No, different. I mean, you can't publicly thing it now, but
No.
everybody has a sense of humour then before everybody got so sensitive.
Different world, wasn't it? Absolutely different
Completely
world.
different world. I mean, do you remember laughing at people when they used to say kids today when they used to talk to you?
Yeah.
Now you understand what they mean. It's like, really? I mean, Friday, Saturday night in the town, Sunday night in the town, Thursday night in the town.
Yeah.
God, people used to say kids today, not like they're in my day, and now I'm 55-year-old.
And you're seeing it now.
Exactly the same now.
Fantastic. Richard, we're out of time, but thank you very much for coming on. Great to hear from you, man. Thanks for calling.
Nice to hear you so much.
Cheers, man. Bye-bye. How nice is that? Great way to bring the show to an end, pretty much, because we got one more tune to go. Another band that I've been lucky enough to interview and brought on stage at Gateshead International Stadium. What a band. They were a support group back then, supporting a group called The Police. They are, of course, U2. Enjoy, and